Yeah, what's up? What's up? We in the building. Yeah. Ice Corleone, Ice Spielberg. Uh, get the mics up in the building, man. Get the mics up in the building, man. Ice Corleone, I'm back. Like I never left. Know what's going on. Know what time it is, man. Go that with me. Salute to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Make sure y'all share this shit, like it. You know what I mean? Get this thing out there. You know, man. Let's get this thing out there, man. Hold up. Ice Corleone, the God is back, man. You know what happened when God come out. Classic shit. You know what I'm saying? Classic shit when God come out. We gonna have Queen Throne in the building. You know what I'm saying? What's good? What's good to the God? What's good? What up? Smash that like button, get the mics up. Queen Throne, okay, there she go. Queen Throne in the building. Oh, okay, let me drop the link. Get Queen Throne up in here. You know what I'm saying? Let me drop the link for Queen Throne. Oh man. Yeah, good guys get blow. Regular vibes. Smash the like button, sir. That's your favorite word. Like, you love talking like that. It's a big ass head. What's up? How you doing?
What's good, Ice?
I'm cool. Everything is healthy over here, man. Just vibing. You know, it's a lot going on out here. You know, I heard your name a few times. I don't know you from nowhere. I never, tuned into your channel. So I don't take your channel. I'm not trying to disrespect it. I'm just saying, I just heard your name a lot. You know what I mean? Just dealing with this chick. So yeah. You know, what happened between y'all? What's going on? Because she be out here making it seem like she's a victim of everything. Everybody's attacking her, and everybody's hating on her. Like, what's going on with you?
First of all, Clyde never a victim, okay? The situation happened with me and her or whatever. Basically, I was on one of my homegirls panels. Shout out to Miss Meat 37. And basically, one of my moderators had brought up the world news situation and the pictures. So I kind of weighed in on it, not really knowing what was going on, but just talking about the subject that was going on, like the topic or whatever, right? A woman sending out her pictures to a man. And I basically stated, as well as Miss Meat, that women should not conduct themselves that way. And then be crying later on when they get exposed. So long story short, she really didn't like that. And she chose to go and victim shame me, attack my mother. And all this started about 10 months ago. As well, she attacked my sister. Recently, she attacked my king, who was right here, and everything like that. But she victim shamed me for being molested at 4 years old. So that's why I'm on her motherfucking neck. She also lied on my son, said that my son is fat and he's not fat. Like, he's taller than me. So if being tall is fat or obese, then yeah. But, you know, Clyde cannot be taken serious because have you ever heard Clyde say, she out here selling cock? How in the fuck is a woman gonna sell cock? Not her own, you know what I'm saying? It is no cock on a woman. So I'm just saying, this is my homegirl Spirit Force. You may remember her from when the whole situation, you know what I mean? And I had her come up also because I feel like, you know, the situation or whatever where her man was in the comment section and stuff like that, I think it's appropriate for her to weigh in on that so that there's no, you know, because Clyde just sits over there and lies. So we don't want no, you know, shit to be misconstrued, basically.
No, I believe y'all now because she just going in and making up mad shit on me. And it's like, damn, I try to, you know what I'm saying? I try to like steer you the right way. Like I was telling you, yo, that shit ain't cool. You up there every day, you got a bottle in your mouth. Like, you got to chill. Like, I ain't doing it like that. I ain't saying like that, but I said it more like a way where, you know, respectfully. Like, yo, take a break with the drink. Like, take 2 days off. I try to help with it. Yo, why you keep arguing with motherfuckers? Like, do a regular live interview, motherfuckers. Like, you got a lot of people in here. You got to move it. Niggas is following you. You know what I'm saying? And she just like was bugging and doing a lot of things. Any girl say hi, and she just go crazy and make a live. Yeah, like I did wild shit to her. I'm like, what? Like, it was kind of crazy to me.
I saw it and I actually knew it was going to happen. And that's why we've been kind of like watching you and we were watching Suge when the whole thing was going down. Not to intrude. If you want to be with her, cool or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? I don't got no issue with that. But one time, let's be real, you did call me, you know, some names or whatever. It was really quick.
This is my first time ever seeing you.
Just I think based off of what Clyde was talking about. Because she was talking about that I'm fat and all this and that. If a size 14 and women is fat, then I'll be fat too. You know what I'm saying?
About you, miss, because it was her right here. She came. I remember her.
So I don't have no beef with you, even regardless or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And if you choose to be with her after this, that's not my business. I'm not here to like, you know, drive a wedge or whatever the fuck she's talking about. Nobody's jealous of her. I have a whole career. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight. My girl's straight. My whole crew is straight. Like, we don't really be on this beef shit, but when somebody blows smoke, we blow that shit back.
Right. You feel me? I respect that. You know, sometimes I ignore it, but it's getting repeatedly with her. And she got a lot of people watching her. She manipulating a lot of people, and they coming over here disliking my shit. My shit got mad. I'm like, hey, ever since I started dealing with you, my dislikes went up. Like, my shit went crazy. I'm like, yo, what happened? But it wasn't even about that. It was just she was cool and we was vibing at the time. I don't really give a fuck about none of that. But she started, you know, just doing salt in the game and doing a lot of snake stuff. He was like, damn, these niggas is out here exposing you. I'm trying to be cool with you. You want to try to act like you blow me up on something. I don't understand.
And see, we wouldn't even, this is my homeboy, this is Preach. She lied on him as well. So basically, also to inform your chat room, I you know, I'm not perfect or whatever, but I advocate against child molestation, obviously, because I am a survivor of it. So knowing that, I have 5 channels total. Clyde, and like I think on 3 of my channels, I advocate for children and shit. Not every day, but you know what I'm saying? On a steady basis or whatever. So Clyde in turn turned around and started calling my whole chat room pedophiles, which we are not. Okay, I don't know who's gonna sit around for hours and hours and hours and expose pedophilia and then be secretly down with it. Like, that just sounds stupid.
You're trying to fuck your business up. That's what you're trying to fuck your whole page up and what you got going on over there. That's what she's into. Like, she goes around, looks around, and tries to take people's pages down. Oh, she's supposed to take your page down, this person's page down. And she used a little cash app. She used a little cash app trick to try to wheel niggas in, right? And then use it as content to talk about a nigga like he asking you, and you just hit niggas cash apps because it's up there and we doing content. Like, ain't nobody asking you for shit. You know what I'm saying? So
that's
exactly. So if you don't want to donate, don't donate. That's it. But if you want to donate, we're gonna take it. Like, we ain't gonna say no, please stop. So don't act like
it would be a fool to say no, stop.
Exactly. Don't act like a nigga is begging you. You can't say a nigga asked you for anything, and that's on God. You know that. So you just, the cash app was up there and you hit it. So you out here saying all of that shit like you doing something big. Like, you doing what everybody do. Everybody donate. Just like they donate to her. That's like the niggas in the comments. They can say, yo, look how much donation I showed her. It's the same thing. Like you just sound stupid. She make herself sound stupid out here. And you a grown woman, right? And you can't be out here like you got a kid. You about 43, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you got your pussy out. Like you got your pussy out, your titties. You talking about I'm about to jump on this nigga dick and this like that shit looks crazy. Like
all in front of her child. I'm not gonna make no statements about children or whatever. But come on now. No, I'm not. But I'm just saying. I have a little girl too. My daughter's 11, and I wouldn't do that type of thing in front of my daughter or even behind her back because I would never want her to find out about such shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. And when I make statements like that, people automatically just jump out. Oh, she coming for kids. Well, look at what my channel talks about. I go in on these badass moms out here, bitches that aren't allowing their baby daddies to be in a child's life because he's not there no more. Women that are fucking with men or whatever that all of a sudden he did something to the baby or it's some neglect there. Either way, I still look at the mom. You know what I'm saying? I'm holding the motherfucker accountable, whoever did it, but I'm still gonna look at the mom because I have 3 children that I had out of my body, and I'll be damned if I let something fucked up happen to them.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
You feel me? So I'll be on that shit,
I salute everything that you're doing too. That's real, like
Thank you. Shout out to you though. I seen OG product in the building and what you've been doing lately and shit. I'll be saluting. Even though I didn't agree with the whole Clyde thing. Again, who am I? You know what I'm saying? To you.
That was it. I didn't know y'all from nowhere. I never had no ill will towards none of y'all, but it was just like. If I'm cool with somebody, she telling me, yeah, these people is dissing me for no reason, and I'm thinking like, oh, damn, that's weird. Like, that's some weirdo shit. Why you paying them no mind? Like, do your thing and stop paying them no mind. You got 300 people in here. You say their name every day. All you doing is shining light on them. That's all I was giving her game. Telling her, yo, you gotta chill. You looking crazy out here. But I wasn't saying it like that. I was giving her in a good way. Like, you gotta take it easy. You know what I'm saying? Every day, you in the morning, you got a bottle in your mouth, like morning vibes. Like, that's crazy. Then you out here calling niggas addicts. Like,
anybody she beats with, you're either an addict, you're broke, you're fat, you're stupid. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You handicapped. Like, she done lied on everybody.
Everybody dope that she dealt with.
And you know what? I don't know if like a lot of people in the chat or even on the panel, like, did y'all mother or your father or grandmother ever tell you this? Like, if 1 or 2 people don't like you, maybe it's just those 2 people or 1 person. But if a lot of people are talking about how you're fucking up, then you need to look at yourself and look what you're doing wrong. Just being real here.
I never wanted to be like this towards her. Like I always wanted to talk to her, give a game on some grown-up shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, look, that shit look bad. Like, you got your kids breaking in your room to check if you're all right with the butter knife. Like, that's on cam. Like,
and not only just the room, in the bathroom. She be taking pills, passed out and shit. Of course, it's a 2-bedroom apartment. So, of course, the children eventually have to use the bathroom and they have to break in there with a butter knife to get the door open. And then Chauncey, her oldest son, comes and brings her in the bedroom so the other kids can use the bathroom. And that's just unstable. And I'm trying to involve kids, but how do you get to a topic without bringing up those things?
Like, you heard that nigga?
Yeah, that's just sad.
I'm not no evil nigga. Like that makes you thinking of that. Like what's going on? Like you, but that's all we know from here. Imagine what's like
really going on. Right. I agree. It's sad. It is very sad.
This might be the last time I'm talking about shorty. Like I just want the people to know what's going on. I want them to be misled because she go out there and say all kind of crazy shit. Then we having people believing all these. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, that's not what it is. Like you feel me? So I just want to say like.
And while we have Preach and Spirit Force up here, both of them had went on her panel or had, you know what I mean, did stuff or whatever. And I just want it to be clarified. Like, did I send y'all or did I not? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Spirit Force said no. Preach, what's your thoughts? Did I send you over to Clyde at any time?
Hopefully it's the last time I'm gonna talk about this. No. Every time I say, hey, on board, I'm gonna go over there and fuck with her. And that was only once when she let me on the panel. And now she blocked me from StreamYard, so I can't even do that anymore. But I went on there, and to be honest, I didn't even go at it. I was talking to her regularly. But it sounded funny because I was coming from one place where we was already having a different conversation. So it sounded funny to them. So I guess in her mind, when she seen the whole thing, she felt attacked. But I really didn't attack. I really didn't say nothing crazy. I was really giving her advice. You see what I'm saying? Kind of like how you said you was doing. But a person like that ain't gonna take that. They're gonna everything you say that's something positive for their life. That's like if a person is dousing themselves in gasoline and they think it's a good idea, playing with matches. No matter what you tell them, everything you say gonna be wrong because they're doing the most wrong shit. So everything you say that's positive, they're gonna think you attacking them. Either you support the bullshit or you against them.
Exactly.
And I don't know. That's the situation. I don't even know what she said about me. I didn't go check. I didn't even ask Queen what she said. I don't even care.
Well, I was on her panel several times because I had to drag her because she brought my king into something that he had nothing to do with other than I let him have my phone when I went to the restroom and he typed whatever he wanted to type when she was on ICE's StreamYards. So yeah, I had to get up there and drag that. Oh, I really did because he didn't have nothing to do. He doesn't even know anything about Clyde and what the fuck she be doing. You know what I'm saying? He was just in the room at the time. So yeah, I had to drag her.
I had no idea none of this. You know what I'm saying? I did hear a lot of people, going at her. She was, saying like that, but I didn't know this like, oh, this shit like this.
And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people, and this is no diss to you, Ice, but a lot of people without knowing what's going on will just take sides and they won't investigate or look at shit. Look, when I research something, I research it 360 degrees all the way around, the good, the bad, the ugly, the pros, the cons, whatever, and then I go back in reverse. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm not always, perfect. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like we gotta start doing that now. This is the age of information right now we in. And a lot of the times, if that many people is on your head, you done did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just motherfucker. Nobody jealous of her. Like she don't got shit. She don't even have a car.
You act like you like some hot. Like that's where it's like, damn, like you know what I mean? I'm a star. I got 200.
Look, I seen it earlier when earlier yesterday when she said something slick mouth. It was before she really went off about girl. But I'd seen it. I was looking up at your box or whatever. Right? That sounds crazy. But I was looking and then like she said something slick. I looked over at you and then you like rolled your eyes like, oh, you trying to be cute? I was like, here we go, like that.
Right there with the nigga, she was saying fly like
yeah, trying to stunt.
Like, yeah, I was like, well, like I let that one slide. I was like, yeah, you got it, whatever. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And then the next when the chick came in there, she just went crazy.
Yep, yeah, I seen that too.
And I was like, you know what I mean? It was like set up for us to, argue so you can go do a live. You feel me? So that's all she do. Like she make a fake beef with you, act like do a tag you to get some views, and then call you right after that and act like oh I'm sorry, everything's like I apologize. Like nah, that's not. We don't play these games. You got me fucked up. I don't views and troll and shit like that. That's not my style.
Right. And that's why Shorty can never apologize to me. She done call me a slave master, said that I'm holding hostages with my king, like I just got him locked under the dungeon or something like that, because she got jealous because my king bought me a car and shit. And then she came like this, that, and the fifth about it and shit like that. Whole time Shorty don't even have a fucking car. Like dead ass. And like, why are you mad at me? Because like I'm in my own lane. Period. She keep my name out her fucking mouth. I've been gone for 3 days. She's still talking about me. Still.
Crazy, like, so how does that? Oh, she talked about your kids, and that's how we started.
She actually first she victim shamed me. My sister concealed ringleader. She has all the videos, you know, pretty much on her page or whatever. So if you go back, it's gonna bring you to a video. The first video that my sister ever did on her, that was about 10 months ago. And shit, my sister really don't post like that, so it's not really hard to find or whatever. But it's something about like the lie detector test determined that was a lie or something like that, and that's where it all started from. You know what I'm saying? And she dead ass up in that video, you'll see that she was like, "You being molested at 4 years old is mediocre, and I don't believe you," and all this crazy ass shit. She tried to tell me that it's impossible for me to be molested ever in my life and to have children. Like, bitch, what? Now you're my gynecologist, bitch? It's weird. Like, this girl is wild. Like, you two need to do something with her ass. For real.
Who this?
Yeah.
Yo, what up?
This is Clyde's husband. Real. This Ike, right?
Clyde's husband.
Yeah, when did she get married?
Girl, that was the fast. They must have went to Las Vegas or something, girl.
She said earlier she was gonna fly out somewhere, but
That was fast. I promise.
She go around the world, man. She about to go around the world. She gonna be everybody dick down. She gonna have every nigga on the pedal talking crazy. We already see what she gonna do. It's regular. That shit is basic. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he was trolling. He was a troll. But yeah. But what happened with you and her? You said you're king. Who your king and all that?
well, I'm not gonna answer all that question for the YouTube streets. But I do have a king, and he stays here. You can ask the panel. They hear him all the time. They've seen him. But
no, neither of our kings are on YouTube. However, she didn't drug them into some shit that didn't have nothing to do with them.
Oh, so she just told niggas.
She just doing random ass weird shit. Yeah, she's a talker.
calling him a midget and a crackhead and all kinds of other shit. So I had to drag her.
Oh, so you mess with that's what she said about the Suge dude. So you mess with her ex?
No.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
So why she said that about Suge? That's what she said about Suge. I don't know.
She said that about
everybody.
She said about everybody.
As soon as you beefing, you a crackhead, you a
Yeah, I'm
a rob banks, you been killed, you done motorcycled on a bitch's face, like you did the worst shit in ever, like you know what I'm saying?
Yo, we gotta catch up, man. We gotta get her right, man. She bugged out. You know what it is? She got too much people around her making that shit seem as cool, and the niggas in the comments, and they not really like, I don't know. She think what she doing is fly. She don't understand when it's real motherfuckers let you know, like, yo, that shit look like, yo, you gotta chill, tighten up, like. You
Preach, when you break down what you had, you know, seen out of the situation of what you think is going on over there, as far as everybody co-signing for her and all that. Remember what we were talking about in the live stream?
I had brought up the fact that I know a lot about trolls and how the internet works, and the word troll comes from, you know, back when they used to chat in forums and stuff like that. And every time, you know, all right, so you got weird dudes, nerd niggas that be on the computer, they don't really see the light of day. You know, and the best and the way to get entertainment is they make other people feel like shit. So when YouTube came around, it got worse because they got the comment section. So it'll be somebody on there, you know, just speaking their truth, you know, saying personal things, and trolls would get in the comments. And this was before you could block the comments and turn them off. And they would do shit and talk to them crazy and make people kill themselves and shit like that, or encourage them to continue toxic behaviors. And I feel like that's a whole lot of Clyde's audience. There's a whole lot of people that like to fuck shit, and they're not really there for her. They want to see her do fuck shit. You know what I'm saying?
Crash. They know about something gonna happen.
They want to see a car crash.
Someone blocked 217.
But what about them lining her up for the big disappointment one day?
Oh yeah, and I was talking about that too. How they trying to steer her in a direction that might be fatal. You see what I'm saying? Because the more they egg it on, she eventually gonna run into a person who's willing to jump out the window that ain't got nothing to lose, or either they'll get her into a position where she can become ostracized, and God forbid she get her all the channels she got flagged, or just gets knocked off of YouTube. Because you know they can personally ban you and make it so that every time you try to do a live, they'll just take it down. They can ban you.
I think she need this shit. This should save her life a little bit, right? Because she get to vent, she get to, you know, release some stress out on her.
And if she can't do that no more, I think people know psychologically there's real demented fucking people that see her for what she is. They know that, so they like, oh, if eventually she get knocked off, she might do some fucked up shit to herself. And there's real weirdos out there that want to see that shit. You know what I mean? And the more you expose yourself and act goofy, it's like watching Kanye West. Some people love when Kanye West loses his mind. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure if he read his comments on Instagram, he would have been did something crazy to himself. You see what I'm saying? But he probably stay away from social media because they especially do it to celebrities. She's not even a celebrity, bro, but she still got 200-300 people. That's enough. At least 20, 30 of those people is trolling her heavy.
She got a presence on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? She does. But it's a lot of bad energy over there.
She has the presence in YouTube because she does stupid shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. She still got a leg.
She done showed her pussy online and did all this crazy shit. But on Clydiva 5, she don't even have 1,000 subs yet. You know what I'm saying? And one day this shit gonna come and bite her in the ass because the internet never forgets.
Nope.
I mean, and then we're dealing with, I'm not to bring kids up again, but children are back in school in some places. Is there going to be bullying on her children because people know about, you know, what Clyde's doing on these YouTube streets? That would be unfortunate as hell. It would not make me happy at all. Because ultimately, I don't like Clyde. We'll never get along, but I don't wish no harm on her children. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just not right. I think you're way on it.
You know her, man. We all human beings, man. We want to see her get better, man. This ain't even like the bachelor. Like, I hope she take this shit as motivation and listen and you know, change her style or change her ways and look at herself, man. And stop doing all this stupid shit.
I mean, this is like the 6th man already that she's done this to. It's just been on different levels, but it's the same song and dance each time.
I knew that. That's why I knew how to play her, give her certain, like, nothing. She can't really nothing. She got nothing.
Did she tell you that when she came back from seeing Uncle Suge and as soon as they started beefing, she tried to say that he raped her after she had already been back for a week and didn't say nothing about it? Did she tell you that?
Tell me that.
That's what I'm saying. And in a way, I'm not trying to steer you anyway. You can go fuck with her tomorrow, and I'm not gonna give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, be careful because
that's good information.
That shit. Yeah.
There are snakes in the grass.
Facts. And she did that shit. Yes.
That's crazy, dude. She's a demon out here, man. She's talking that God shit too. I'd be like,
right.
How you go to church?
How you a pastor's daughter, but you God and shit? God don't have rent. God ain't on welfare. God ain't out here selling his pussy or her pussy or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? That just sounds crazy. Is that why God fails people on levels every day? Because God out here selling their pussy and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy as hell. You gotta think about it.
God the light, man. God wanna shine the light, uplift motherfuckers, and you know what I mean? See motherfuckers winning, doing good, man. That's God light. Not dragging disrespect. Making up school, like you do a lot of crazy stuff. So you know, I thought you was cool, man. I had a little bit of love for you. I thought you was cool. I sensed that you wasn't really like me, a little bit of God, so nigga, you know what I mean? Put some chip in your head, and I tried to do that, but you wanted to do YouTube games and shit like that, just for some views and shit.
That's big facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Sad but true.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, she's the only one that can change it. She got to look within.
She got something against light-skinned people too.
Oh, that's another thing that I wanted to talk to you about too, because every time that she gets mad at me, she be talking about I'm Dominican, I'm a fucking Puerto Rican, I'm this, that, and the fifth or whatever, besides what I am. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's just trash too. And then when I heard how she just clicked the fuck out on you and old girl yesterday, I was like, see, here we go. And I'm glad that you stood on her neck about that shit, because that's the same shit that she's been doing to me and Ashay Divine for a minute. Other people, you know, she'll call him a little red motherfucker and all this and that. And,
I know she always the skin tone thing. It's heavy with her. It's like, whoa, there's something funny about you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
She even went off on some colorism shit with Spirit Force. You know what I'm saying? Bringing, you know, her race or what she thinks her race is and all this and that into it when that wasn't even the basis of the conversation.
Exactly. She just went into some, I got melanin in my skin. Like, I got that too. So, like, what you say? Like, I look good. I'm like, what? And that's when it was like, you lost me. Like, all right, so now you acting crazy.
And she'll even go in on women that are darker than her. She'll call them, you know, black.
Yeah, she just called us, what's her name? Sexy Star, Black Monkey. Like, because she's dark skinned. Like, we know, like, the things you saying about the niggas ain't stupid out here. They picking up and listening to you. Like, we listen to it. I'm there studying.
The thing about it is, Clyde is Eritrean. So, you know what I'm saying? That's a, you know, part of Africa, whatever, right? And I'm not talking down on Africa, but oftentimes foreigners will come here as refugees or whatever, move here on their own dollar, and then they basically classify themselves as another race. You see what I'm saying? So the whole time, Eritreans are mixed with things like Yemen, Arabian, I don't know, there's a whole bunch, some of them are mixed with Italian and stuff like that, and possibly that's why Clyde has the hair grade that she has or whatever, but they often look down, they're told in the door, basically, to not click up with black people, and a lot of them may click up with black people or try to connect with us, but they always feel like outcasted, and I think that's what we're seeing, and also, like, I'm just saying, so a lot of them also will call themselves on paper Caucasian. Yes, that's a big fact. I even had a video on that. You know what I'm saying? Not just,
that's a good job.
No, I'm talking about, like, even, you know, some of them are on welfare here. They're not supposed to be, or they're only supposed to be on certain programs. However, they're doing that. So, and that's not just Eritreans though. That's, you know, some other countries in Africa, or whatever, continents or whatever. You know,
I love the African people, but it is, you know, tension between, you know, Black Americans and African. They got a little static. Like, they feel like we feel like we better. You know, me and we grew up, you know, in America and shit, and we have it all.
I mean, compare her face to Nipsey Hussle's right now. I'm not saying that Nipsey Hussle is ugly like her, but what I'm saying is you'll see the features, the nose. You feel what I'm saying? The nose, how the eyes are set in the face, all that, and you will see that she's Eritrean.
We all still the same though. It doesn't even.
Right. I'm just saying that's maybe why she's pushing this.
Yeah, that's probably
what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to find an answer for why you would want to make enemies with everybody. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
There's something she's going through things, man. There's something going on. Like, it's only gotta be. So there's no reason for you to be bugging like that. And you just drinking every day. It's like this. Like that shit. You killing yourself slowly. Like, to keep it real with you. That's bad, man. Every day a bottle, morning, noon, night. That's crazy.
Liver and kidney shot. But how many lives has she done today? Like, excessive. You know what I'm saying? And I know she's doing it to pay her rent. You know what I'm saying? On some real shit, not trying to down her or whatever, but she lost her job. That had nothing to do with me or Ashay. You know what I'm saying? Renee had gotten her fired.
They said that niggas was sending, that's corny. I don't respect this right here, you know what I'm saying? Right. Niggas was, you know, sending like her pussy flicks that she was sending out to her job and the videos. That's whack. I don't jack that. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you got a problem, somebody got a problem with them. You know what I mean? Don't go to their like business and where they working and shit like that. That's weirdo shit. But you know, I heard that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I heard.
But if she's in a profession like that, she shouldn't be doing shit like that on YouTube anyway.
Right.
Because you know how many people have her pussy pics? You know what I'm saying? It's been passed around so many times out here in these YouTube streets. Come on, in a profession like that, in a nurses, doctors, pharmacists, whatever, like even lawyers, even what Queen does. Do you think she wants to take pictures of her cooch and send it out just to YouTube? So what? It could come back and bite you in your ass tomorrow? No, thank you.
Right.
I mean, that's something an adult should think about. Like, oh, should I do that? Should I not? And assign, I mean, even a 20-year-old would be like, I don't think I should do something like that because it might land in the wrong hands. Do you see what I'm saying? So her being in a profession like that would think, well, maybe I shouldn't do stuff like that even on YouTube. Do you see what I'm saying? Because she doesn't know who's watching her videos. She doesn't know who's recording her shit and then passing it around.
She also disclosed the medical status of an HIV patient.
Yeah, and that's against HIPAA regulations.
Yeah, so I think that ultimately was one of the big things next to the stolen pills that she had sent to Renee. So even though, because she came on here before and tried to say that people were trying to find her dad's church and all that, and that's bullshit because I don't really even at this point think that her dad is a pastor. Allegedly, her father's on his deathbed, and that's not, I'm not saying that to make fun of it or nothing like that, but how is he a pastor of a church? And this was just, you know, maybe he just fell ill or whatever. I'm just saying, it's just kind of weird. And to me, everything that she says is a lie pretty much. So I'm just like, you know what I mean? But let's throw that out there too. You know, but she said that people were calling up to churches and all this and that, and we have really no proof that that ever happened. And there's also, I don't know if it's a rumor or whatever, but allegedly her 21-year-old is her father's son. Her and her mother were pregnant at the same time, allegedly. So that's just one of the situations out there.
Man, that's crazy, man. Like, I didn't even know. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You really ain't know who she was, G?
No, I knew it was a lot going on with her. Like, I knew it was a lot going on.
Pay attention to it because you thought.
Listen, I met her through the bozo nigga Gotti shit. Like, you feel me? I was going over there, clowning shit over there, and she seen a nigga and she jumped right in the DMs. You know what I mean? Jumped right in the joint. It went from there. And you know, I did live. She popped out. You know, she came in there, and a lot of niggas was like, "Oh shit, I'm out of here," type shit, like running. You heard? I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Nah, I swear to God, I'm not even being funny. No jokes. Like, she came in, niggas was like, "I'm out of here." Oh shit, and I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, why these niggas is running like that?
Scared as hell.
The niggas just split it. Like, they ain't say shit. Them niggas is dirty, right? The niggas got out of here. It was like, I'm out.
I was told you, niggas.
Yeah, so ever since then we chopped it up. I was like, oh, I'm jagging you. Then I went to a joint. It was like, damn, she got a lot going on here. It's a lot of smoke. Like, so, you know, and I'm hearing I'm going about for what she's saying. I don't know nothing. I never went to none of y'all pages and listened to none of y'all until like a couple weeks ago. I said, hold up, because I seen that she kept flipping on me and doing weirdo shit. I'm like, wow, this girl, something's wrong with her. Let me see what these other people were saying. And I'm tapped in. I'm like, oh shit, like this is crazy. Like, and then I studied her. I'm like, yo, this is what she do. This is her routine thing. Like, this is a routine thing with this girl. You know what I'm saying? So I knew how to play her. I knew like I'm gonna give her just talk. Like that's it. You know what I mean? She did yeah, she was popping her joint and all of that, but she don't got no video, nothing, I never sent her no shots, none of that, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm glad you woke up because like the chat is saying you were her next victim.
Right.
I was knowing.
We was all watching it.
Right.
I low-key thought you knew and you had some kind of plan. Like everybody thought you was playing her. That was the word. Like
some of my mods and shit would come in your chat room to try to have your back and shit, and keep an eye on you like that.
You know what I'm saying? I felt kind of bad for you, to keep it honest with y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, damn, it was like, you know what I mean? I thought I could tighten it up and make her change her little style up a little bit and switch it up. Because I was like, yo, let's do interviews. I'll do it with you. It didn't go.
Sarnetta put her on a panel. That was the most civilized I've ever seen.
Sarnetta even warned her about what's going on months ago. She did not listen. He verbatim stated, you need to stop making these crazy ass videos saying all this shit because people are going to record it and they're going to make videos about you and you're going to be fucked up about it. He warned her. And then she went at him. She even drugged Sarnetta. Like she don't care. She don't give a fuck. She don't care if you trying to help her or hurt her, whatever. She don't give a fuck. Oh, you trying to help me, bitch? Oh, fuck you too, bitch.
I'm like, damn, why you dissing me? This nigga got your joint out here. Talk about them. You making vlogs about. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to be cool with you, man. I don't know if you understand. Like, so that's why I knew like it was something else of her, and I can't really take nothing she say serious. And I'm not even mad at her. I just want her to tighten up. Like, if she tighten up, that'll make me happy, man. Like, you feel me? Like, you feel like, cause you bugged out, shorty. Like, you gotta chill. You looking crazy out here. I don't know if niggas just sit around you and make you do that. Like, people that's cool with you like that, they say they cool with you, but I'm cool with you, and I'm not gonna let you do that to yourself. So I'm gonna let you know. You feel me? Word. I feel you. Did y'all link up? No, I never met her. I never met a day in my life. It's just on here.
Gotta be lucky.
Yeah, you dodged the bullet.
For real. Ain't no telling what would happen. She would have went back home. Soon as you didn't answer the phone, she was going to at your ass. And it's even worse, I think, after you give her the dick. Like, virtual sex is a lot to her. You in a relationship with her. You have virtual sex. But when you go lay that pipe for real, it's a rap. You got like a crazy ass stalker bitch. If you have a rabbit, you better hide that motherfucker because she gonna boil that motherfucker.
Yo, like, listen, if I would have dropped this shit on her, she would have lost her mind. Like, this shit is different. Like, I would have, she would have like, it would have been crazy. I think she would have killed the nigga or something like that. I would have been dead. And
it's crazy that she's saying all these things about you because it wasn't that when she was all feeling you and shit like that. Now you live with your mama. Yeah, now you living with your mama. I mean, if you live with your mama, whatever, you live with your mama or whatever, right? But she knew that beforehand it was still fucking with you. But she always does it.
She don't even know that. She just chatting, going by what the trolls saying.
Yeah, I'm already knowing. You know, I'm just saying.
What's up with this?
Yo, it's Uncle Black, the Black Enigma. I don't usually jump on panels, bro. Can you hear me?
Why you keep blowing my face up? They don't think I'm the one talking.
No, I'm trying to make sure he ain't.
I know.
I'm trying to make sure he ain't showing his slant. Nobody try to back his slam out.
Nah, bro, I'm legit. Ask Queen Throne.
I know who he is. He's 100. That's Uncle Black.
See, basically, bro, I went on there the other night and I was talking to her about being the Black Marilyn Monroe. She really started over in my camp a year ago, dragging this other content creator named Jazzy G. Let me just set the record straight. And then she started donating heavy to niggas to try to help her get her channel up. Started with a brother named World News, much respect. Then it went to brother named she was donating heavy to all these people, right? Then it went to Tommy and Sarnetta. Then it went to Uncle Shug. Then it came to you. And she's basically using her purse strings to try to play a pity party for fools, to feel sorry for her bitch ass when she does this everywhere she go. And if anybody liked the dude that she liked, she calls him all sorts of names and plays colorist games. And then goes back and these old hag bitches, older black women that like to live vicariously through hoe assholes like her, keep giving her money to trick off on younger niggas. She's trying to buy attention with younger brothers and then cry like she's the victim when y'all clown her for the shit she do. I just want to come on and say that, brother. Keep doing what you're doing, stay positive, but watch out for these leeches and these parasites. Much respect. I'm out.
So look, bro, I appreciate what you're saying. You're saying some real shit. That was all facts right there, man. Dang, that nigga was talking that real shit. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what that lady did, man. You know what I'm saying? She tried to buy niggas, do the little cash app thing, make it seem like niggas is out here. No, man, stop it.
She's a paymaster.
They come through over here and act like everything's cool. We got a relationship. You know what I'm saying? And then do some weirdo shit.
Like the other day or whatever, I don't remember what video it was, but she said, that ICE don't love me or whatever. How you gonna fall in love with somebody on the internet? Like, I just think that's weird to me. Like,
hello.
What's up, Queen? What's up?
All right, so I'm not on nobody's side. I'm in between versus east versus west. Obviously, that's what we're trying to do, right? Right, guys?
Okay, good. You listening?
Right, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say at the end of the day is when you choose east, they're all thirsty. When you choose west, we got it like that.
However, in the Midwest, so that don't mean shit.
Shut up.
You shut up.
At the end of the day, west will always be loyal to you. And you choosing east, midwest, northwest, southwest, or whatever they got going on, you choosing that over the west. And what you're doing is embarrassing yourself. And wait. Ice, I don't fuck with Clyde. Clyde doesn't even know who I am. You don't know who I am. But I feel really disrespected by everything that you have done thus far in this chat. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like you and Clyde need to take this offline and figure it out. Whether you guys want to be together or not together or whatever. She's like me. I'm a Kruger. So I'm going to go for the youngster. And if I choose a youngster over the senior citizen has AARP discounts and all that type of bullshit, then that's on me. But I'm not going to allow somebody beneath me to discriminate against me. And that's what you've allowed. You have allowed something that's right. Hey, shut up. You've allowed something that's beneath us as West Side to come between you and West Side. East Side will never compare to us West. Us West, we have everything and need nothing. And right now, you look like a clown allowing, what's her name? Trinity and Sexy Sex or whatever her name is, you've allowed them to come between. your bag, and I don't understand why you would.
But it's not about the bag. It's not about. See, this is where I cut you off at. It's not about the bag. I'm not money hungry. I'm not asking. I never asked this girl nothing. I'm not needy. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna get to the bag regardless, whatever I'm doing. You feel me? It's not about that. It's a respect thing. You disrespecting niggas left and right, like for no reason and doing a lot of silly shit. It ain't about the bag. What you think it was about? I was trying to be naturally cool with her, and she was just doing that out of nowhere. Like she did on her own. I ain't asking about that shit. She did it. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't never about that. But it was good. It came in handy, and it was love. Okay, I appreciate it. But it's not about that with me. Man. I don't care about that shit.
Okay. And like I said, she doesn't even know me. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't know anything about me. Where I came from, nobody will ever know. But I'm here. But what I will say is, just because you allow the next female to sell your dream, I never allow anything to affect your bag. You're
still talking about a bag. What are you talking about? Like,
huh? Loyalty, respect. You're so confused. Loyalty.
You know how you doing, sugar? First of all, who this naggle to, bitch? Talking so easy and wet shit. I don't want no fucking smoke.
I got all my teeth, baby boy. The only reason why I'm
your ass dragging this motherfucker.
Yeah, that's Gotti's grandmother.
That's Gotti's grandmother.
We get money on this side, you dirty bitch. What you talking about? You should have cut it all out. Knock your ass out, bitch.
The only reason why I'm not
canceling. So respect of this motherfucker. We telling you shut up, bitch. You know what?
Yo, Gotti's grandmother don't play about me.
You ready? Let me show you.
I'll pull up, bitch.
All right, I'm going to do this thing. It says you are in the show. Everyone can see you. What the fuck do I press after that? What are we doing?
Put your camera.
Put your camera on your face.
Just got your ass, bitch.
So they're not done and everything. But I'm
going to the light. We can't see.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
What?
Good lord!
Oh my god!
No god!
Oh man!
Jesus!
What's that?
Turn on the cam and want
to loaded. Cam that bitch. Damn, what the fuck? You gonna get us flagged, bitch?
You don't got a grandmother be wildin'?
No god.
Oh my
god. Oh mama's mama. Oh mama.
End of the day, what it's about is loyalty over everything. And you can also
you got some nerve coming out here like that. I'm sorry, baby. No, you did not. No, you did not. Granny, get ass, Granny.
But what does that show you? I'm woman enough to cam up like that.
No, it shows us that you don't know how to brush your hair and wash your ass.
I know how to wash my ass and brush my hair. I just took my braids down. Would you like to see it?
Go watch that shit, baby. That shit probably musty as hell. Smell like mildew.
I just watched it. You're not ready.
No, it looked like you ain't never seen a comb in that shit. Like, Brad, that shit look like you got electrocuted, bro. What the fuck you been doing? You get your phone away while you was on it, baby?
What a shower.
It's all right, baby.
They put a hat on that shit.
But you came in here like you was fly as hell, boo. Like, I'm just saying. You came in here like, watch this, motherfucker.
Good Lord. She turned the camera on like she was lit. Like,
right. She was a baddie.
You got some Cartiers on. I know that.
Why you up here cloud placement? Why you up here cloud placement? Child, no, God. I do not know this lady.
She said you're cool. That's what you're on class side.
Nobody will ever know me. Look at that. Look at that. You can write
I'm sure we can find you. I got a picture of you. Right. You looking bad. Your debut, you looking bad as hell. Girl, you got some child molester glasses.
You nasty bitch.
All of that.
She got some child molester glasses on, y'all. I'm dead, bro. The prison glasses on.
I seen your fucking little shorty. That's what
Did your house smell like you look?
That shit look bad. I'm cool with that.
You look like you been smoking fucking 8 balls, girl. The fuck?
She said she was cool, but she like young guys. With them glasses, she can see anybody's potential.
Girl, that's girl.
She said I'm a cool to myself.
Girl, no God, baby.
She can see a nigga's potential, future aspirations.
Girl, and your hairline pushed back, girl. Who did that?
Doing what?
Your hairline pushed back.
No, it's not.
Your hairline in the front on the top.
You got the co-models.
It's still in there. It's like
the Donovan McNabb hairline.
She got lint and fucking old ass fucking. I don't even know.
What you talking
about? The fuck, girl. That shit does not look clean, girl. You need to go retry that, baby. Did you dye your hair? You bleached it?
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna dye it.
Good lord, your pineal gland all calcified, baby.
Queen of Thorns. What I'm gonna do is.
You can't read. It's Queen Throne. Yeah.
Being the type of woman that I am, I respect you for that. So Queen of Thorns, I'm gonna respect you for that. You know what I'm saying? If you want,
I'm on your neck because you came in here like you was a baddie. Like I'm just saying, you know.
Look, at the end of the day, I'm 41 years old and I'm getting ready to turn 42. Yes, I need to dye my hair, baby girl, but please don't get it twisted.
Oh, baby, I'm 40. I'll be 41 soon. So, you know, I'm just saying. I'm bad like that. Maybe you having a bad day, baby. It's nothing. I love you, baby. I love you.
I'm not having a bad day. What I'm on is I'm tired of seeing youngsters disrespect real women. And you, to be my age, you should be able to understand that.
Do you know the whole story before you came up here and trying to pass judgment on me? Do you know that she victim shamed me for being molested at 4 years old? So you want me to not say shit? Girl, you must be out your motherfucking mind.
Wait a minute. Wait. Out of respect, I've given you the opportunity to speak. I'm not going to judge nobody.
Okay, but you just came here telling me what I should do at my age and all that. You came here at your age looking like that.
You goddamn right. Because you know why? Because when I get my hair braided tomorrow, I'll look like a 21 or a 30-year-old type bitch. But that doesn't make me. What makes me at the end of the day is what's inside of me.
I like that.
That is true.
That
is true. But you are crazy how people like you want everybody to side view or look over what Clyde does and just shut the fuck up about it and be the bigger person. But none of you motherfuckers is doing shit to stop these motherfuckers. She got victims or alleged targets all over the place, and you over here talking to us. We was peaceful as fuck before you brought your ass in here.
And it's not even about being peaceful.
We weren't dragging her. Oh, I can go in. You better go check out my channel, baby.
It's very respectful. We wasn't dragging her here. We was talking
we were definitely being rational. Yes.
I've looked at you. I've looked at what's the other one called? Something about a clown or whatever the case may be. I've been in the okay. Right, and I'm you, and I see that you have a lot of good potential versus doing something so to cause you to go lower. You need that.
Okay. So,
wait a minute.
Ain't no fucking wait a minute, lady. You're tripping. Like, this woman has went after my children, my mother, my grandmother, fucking my king, went after me for being molested at 4 years old. And you're sitting over here talking shit to me about I need to be the bigger person or overlook that. That's the fucking problem. That's why all these kids is out here being fucked up. Because it's motherfuckers like you that be like, oh, don't make a big deal out of it. And it's some crazy shit.
Right.
Don't play with me. Like, fuck what you talking about. She done called my whole chat room pedophiles. She done lied on a man and said that he raped her. Do you need me to go on? Do I have to continue? Because I got hella shit. What's the problem? You mad about us talking out about some real shit? Girl,
right. At the end of the day, just like you, and just like, I did 32 hours worth of labor. But you know what I realized? Is nobody can ever take my kids. I did 32 hours. Okay. And whenever causes somebody else to talk about my child, as long as I know that my kids are healthy, as long as I know that my kids can run around and do what they wanted to, I was just blessed with allowing my 21-year-old daughter to turn 21. And you know what else I did? I allowed my 1-year-old granddaughter to turn 1. I don't allow anyway.
Nobody over here dragging her children. So what the fuck are you on right now?
You were.
Yeah, we were just dragging her. We were just dragging her children. Are you serious, lady?
Nobody talking about
not serious right now.
Okay, and you just came up here saying you ain't on her side or on ISIS side, but you're gonna sit here and say that Queen said something about her dragging her children when that hasn't even happened during this live at all. Queen said that she wasn't going to involve the children. So now you're out of pocket because you are bringing Clyde's children into this. So with that being said, I'm gonna shut up before you get me to drag you.
Stop doing your chin like that too. You look crazy as fuck. You think I'm so like nice right now. You look like a damn fool. You look stupid. Go back to the replay. They're gonna see that nobody was dragging her children.
But you know what?
I'm up here to outtake. Nobody even knows you, girl.
Wait, at the end of the day, you call me crazy. I am crazy, but I'm mixed. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. I have no problem.
This ain't gonna do shit to me, lady. So
I'm mixed crazy. Mixed crazy.
Yeah, bitch. Fuck with me if you want to.
I'm not nobody, but if you want me to, I will.
Okay. Well, if that's what you think you need to do. Anyway, we don't want to hear from you, ma'am. You're not talking about shit.
I'm not.
I'm up here misdirecting the whole conversation. Nobody was even on that, and now you over here running your fucking jibber jabbers and just sitting there with that fucked up ass hairdo, looking oily and greasy and musty and dingy as fuck, bitch. And you getting on my damn nerves. Nobody said nothing about this bitch or her kids. Like the fuck. I'm in the story. I'm informing him. He asked me to do an interview, bitch. So to appease you and those that support Clyde, I was supposed to say no. No, bitch, get out of here. She came up here oily and greasy as hell. You see them pedophilic ass glasses?
You out here parading for Clyde, so you must have got sent there here something like.
She must have seen Clyde's pictures or whatever and got hypnotized or whatever. That roast beef fucking vajayjay she got. That shit musty as hell looking. I must have seen that and was mad at the person that sent it to me for like 2 days. Like I ain't even fucking with Shorty no more. Like fuck that, you know.
I had to get that shit off my computer. I had to get that off.
Okay, I've seen it though. I know what's going on, so I don't even ain't even got to get into all of that. Like I've seen it.
She just came up here and deflected fucked up that whole situation or whatever. We weren't even on dragging no kids. Children have to be brought up when it talks about the welfare of their children. Now, if I got to throwing out insults or whatever to them, that would be something different. You know what I'm saying? But we know she's a mother, therefore she has children and is displaying this type of behavior. Like what people don't understand about that. That's not talking about children.
No.
Talking about children is when she made all them statements about Ashe Divine's daughters, and other people's daughters. Miss Meat's daughter, Miss Meat 37. You might want to interview her too, because Clyde drugged her daughter and her, you know what I'm saying? Her daughter passed away though. And Clyde knew this, and Clyde threw it in her fucking face. My sister got that on her channel too. Concealed Ringleader is my sister.
So she was out here fucking with people's kids and all that too. Like, so she be crying when it's done back to her on the flag and take people.
She talked about my mom first 10 months ago. So fuck that shit. Recently, I threw her mom in her face. You know what I'm saying?
Showing, niggas brother that passed away pictures. And,
oh wow.
Yeah. She did that to you?
Yeah.
Oh nah.
But she over there claiming you're the victim though. I mean,
exactly. She she delete the live real fast and make niggas see what I say. If I respond, she don't never respond. Act like she was victim and shit like that. These people is attacking me. Nah, you out here rapping. What you talking about?
Facts.
What you mean, Queen of the Clouds? I don't know if it's your chat or Queen's chat. She's talking about poor preach. What do you mean poor preach? Poor bottle.
They said you're lit.
Oh no, I don't get drunk like that. Hey, watch Queen's strong shit. Watch me. I drink for hours.
Yeah, Clyde tried to have Preach send her money to get her hair braided and shit. He was like, you look better with some box braids. Like he wasn't saying nothing like foul to her, but he was just saying like little statements like that. Like you know, he tried to have a conversation and she just couldn't do it. So he was like, you would really look better with some box braids. He was being polite, and then she was like, why don't you pay for him then? And all this and that. So that's where the braiding comment come from.
Yeah. That's crazy. Man. So who was that? The priest? Oh, that was you? Oh, that's
yeah,
you.
that was me.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
We had like a 30-minute conversation. I can't even get her stream out no more. She let Spirit Force in, and they argue. You don't fuck with me. You don't fuck with me.
Like a fucking wild ass motherfucking wolf.
Oh, she be jumping on her head, bro.
Hell yeah.
And then she's like this. This is what she said. With her little fucking mechanic thing to hold her fucking joint.
Yeah, that came off of a part at the salvage yard. She saw it and she was like, "Oh, I think I can fit my blunts in here." She said it in a live stream, and then so she took it home. She washed it off and she fucking used it as a blunt like holder. I guess so she don't burn it down.
I thought that was like the weed. I thought that was like
no, that's a part off of a car.
Nah, get the fuck out of here.
My motherfucking life. That is a part to a car. She said that shit in a live stream. We got that shit.
Get the fuck out of here.
That is a part off of a car. Fact.
I thought that was like one of the blunt holders.
Yeah. Like one of the villains, right?
No, she got that from a salvage yard. She said she had to go there, whatever, and get one. Like get something or whatever. And she seen it on the ground and she looked at it and was like, my blunts will fit in here. And she took it home and washed it. And now she uses it to hold her blunts like that ass. We heard it in one of my live streams, I think.
Sexy Star pull up, yo, because she was wilding on Sexy Star today too. Like,
hey, Clyde, damn, my bad. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Y'all saying her name too much. Queen, you never said what she said about me directly though. You said the pedophile thing, but she said something else. But you never told me. I think I forgot that.
You were drunk and it was it sounded like some shit. Oh, she said that you were over on ZX panel and you fell out of a chair, which never happened. Right, which never happened though because you stupid as hell. I don't sit in chairs.
I don't. It's a couch.
You stupid.
I'm
saying offline. You sit in a chair.
Yeah. I mean, I sit in chairs.
What the fuck is wrong with chairs? What's going on?
I sit in chairs sometimes.
I'm about to start looking at my chair like, no God.
That's stupid. That's why. I think that's why I didn't care. I was like, she grabbing that straws. She grabbing that air right now. You feel me? Like,
she didn't really.
Oh man.
Oh God, what the flying fuck is this thing going back up here?
But you know what? What I want to say is at the end of the day, me and you and oh girl at the end, we all have kids. And I don't ever want to see you guys sit up here and disrespect us as women for some.
We're not disrespecting kids. Did you hear what I said before you logged off or you were kicked off? No one's up here disrespecting kids because we are mothers.
I have 3 children. Well, really 4, but hello.
Thank you. This got to be said. So
you can, like, rewind the live stream. You know, you can bring that red bar all the way to the beginning and watch it, and then you can really understand instead of jumping in halfway and running your fucking mouth though. No, because you're gonna talk all day.
I'm not. I'm not the type of bitch to get down and talk. I stop talking and stop muting me. I stop muting. I don't even want to. I don't have to.
Salute, homie, salute.
What I'm gonna say is at the end of the day, you guys need to leave kids out.
Hold on. Who's gangsta love, nigga? Who you?
Look, I came in on half of the story and shit, right? So I heard Shorty come up and she said she was a cougar, so I came up here to holler at Shorty.
Wait,
Miss Lady, the one who said the cougar. The cougar.
There. What I am though is I'm. Wait, allow me to finish, Spring Thorn.
Who leads with that though? I'm a cougar. You know what I'm saying?
I am.
Okay, great.
So you holler at somebody. I
just want to be seen and all that.
No, if I wanted to be seen, you wouldn't see a seat.
You came up here with your braid out like it was on fleek. You've been laying down in the bed all day, baby. You should have checked it.
Right, but you know what I do?
She look like you got hit by lightning.
Well, I rolled on like 325 times and shit.
Oh shit.
Like stop.
What I did is I washed my ass and I combed my hair and I
look oily, baby. So you gotta get some of them wipes for your hair to neutralize. You know what I'm saying?
Like a misdiagnosed
in your skin or whatever. You gotta get that oil up out of there. You gotta get it up out of there. You gotta just get it up out of there. Get it. You know what I mean? Worry about your T areas. You know, all of this is greasy, baby.
She like a petrified squirrel.
You go fuck around and get ice shut down, babe. That's what I'm saying.
Well, at the end of the day, I'm intention.
Exactly. Like they gonna come up here and put us all in double quarantine. Goddamn it, I'm tired. You want to talk forever, grabbing at work all day. Like I'm just, I was requested. So I'm just saying, you trying to go on and on about something that never happened, and you still doing it. Like we hear what you're saying. Nobody drugged no kids. Go back to the beginning and rewatch it.
Okay. I allowed everybody to speak. At the end of the day, the Queen Thorn, what I am going to say to you is...
Oh, man, she got dyslexia too.
Queen Thorn?
Yeah, man.
Throne, you know, like a throne. Motherfucker, Queen's throne.
Like
it's my turn. At the end of the day, I don't care if they call you Queen Thrones or Queen Bud or Queen Three.
You're talking to me in my interview.
At the end of the day, what it's about is loyalty. And you have to have loyalty over every minute.
Her friend. I don't owe her no loyalty or none of that shit. I was never her friend. We were never cool. I was never in her chat room. I was never friends with her on Instagram, Facebook. I don't give a fuck. What the fuck is that shit tagged or whatever? I don't know. I'm just saying. Everywhere that you're turning, baby, like it's not working out for you. You're making yourself look dumb because I don't owe her no loyalty.
Are you black?
What does that have to do with shit? So you mean to tell me if a pedophile is out here in the street raping children, you're going to just take up for them because they're black? Are you fucking serious? Again, I prove my point on you type of people are what's wrong with this world right now.
I'm gonna let you talk too.
I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna mute myself. Go ahead.
So whether we're black, orange, green, purple, yellow, whatever color you want to be, at the end of the day, we were all mothers, correct? Right?
Yeah, what you saying? Get to your point.
My point at the end of the day is it's all about children and all about a nigga that's disrespecting a bitch that's willing to take food out of their kids.
Nobody told her to do that.
Never asked her for no money.
Right, look, I never disrespected this lady. All I did was try to, show her love, and she said she wanted to come around me. She came around me. I never asked her for $1. My cash app is up there. People donate, they donate. That's on her. Yeah, we did a little. She popped a joint, for a kid. I'm a man. I was like, let me see what's going on. Like, let me see what's hitting for out here. Like, yeah, she did that, and she smashed the cash app. But I never asked that lady for nothing or called her phone and begged her, nothing like that. So don't make it sound like that. No, that's not the case. See, you don't know the story. You just going by what she's talking about.
I'm not even going off of her or anything that she said to me. Like I said, she don't even know who I am. But what I will
go about what you listening to from the lives.
It's my turn. What I will say is that all of this and all of your pictures and everything is low-key disrespectful, Ice.
Okay, so what she do is not disrespectful? You speaking on people, putting up people's dead brothers up there, that's not disrespectful?
It is. On both.
Right, so when you open those doors, things like this is going to happen.
Right? You unmuted me, right?
Yeah, but I'm trying to let you understand. When you open those doors, stuff like that can happen. People's going to go all out and dish your kids and be like, fuck everything because you violating theirs. You feel me? So that's why people are doing what they're doing. And she's not just the victim, she's doing things and people's reacting. So you got to understand that too. Ain't nobody just out here trying to bash her. That's not what I'm into. I've never been that type of nigga or anybody out here. So it's not going to start now. Like.
Okay, but right now, what I see from you, and I've been watching you since last night, is I've seen what is that girl's name, Trinity, and some bitch with her, what's that lace front or whatever that is connected to her so-called edges, and she don't have any. You chose that.
You're trying to roast people.
Wait, it's my turn.
Wait, what you talking about?
Okay, you're on the panel. It's everybody's turn. So we're not going to take over the show. You weren't even in the original.
She looked like she sells McDonald's Monopoly pizzas at the nearest Sunoco.
She's talking nonsense. Hey, yo, she is tripping right now. I don't know what's wrong with her. She's bugging. She just
said drop the link.
She's going crazy. She don't know the story. I guess she don't know what's going on. Oh, my bad. She just know what she's saying on her live, and that's the thing right there. That's where people get manipulated.
And then she said she'd been following you since last night. How do you have a good understanding of somebody based off of like one night or days of research?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't even know what's going on. You just chatting. Like, you sound crazy, man.
She a little off. She on the spectrum though. She on the spectrum.
Other kids.
Yeah,
They said they got kids. They know me. That's not what they into. Like, you heard? Come on, man. What's up, Star? How you?
Hi, everybody.
What's good, sexy star?
Hi, Queen.
Hey.
What's the other young lady name? I don't know her name. It's nice to meet everybody.
Spirit Force, nice to meet you.
You know, she was very disrespectful. She didn't have to come up here and do all that. You know what I'm saying? Hi. She didn't have to come up here and do all that. She was very disrespectful.
You going out, sexy star?
All right, I'm sorry. She was very disrespectful. She didn't have to come on the panel and be so nasty to explain herself or to express her opinion or whatever. Like, your opinion at the end of the day don't even matter because you got disrespectful. That my lace front, what my lace front got to do with anything? You sound ignorant and stupid. This lace front is bad. It's expensive too, baby girl.
Tell her ass. Little fucking weird ass bitch. She came up here on bullshit. Like, girl, nobody was even, what the fuck? She came in here like this. Hold on. She was not cammed up and shit. She came in here like, how you push the button? How you cam up or whatever? You know what I mean? Her hair just stuck up like, girl. Girl, it looked like she got to do a fight with like wild banshees or some shit. The fuck? God damn.
At the end, everybody keeps saying we're mothers. We know that we're mothers. But won't you go over there and tell that bitch stop pussy popping? She's a mother too. She locked in the room all day. Why she's neglecting her fucking kids? Go fix that bitch over there because I don't need help. I'm a good ass mom. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not locked in the room all day. I'm not on YouTube all day. I'm not pussy popping for niggas on YouTube all day. So if you're trying to check somebody, go check that nasty ass bitch over there. That's what you could check, mom. Don't worry about my fucking lace wig, bitch. You can't afford it. All right, bitch?
And then it's crazy that she just wanted us to sit back and not say shit.
Yeah, she was very disrespectful to you, Queen. You didn't deserve that.
No, I'm saying like about Clyde. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, she could run around here and do all this crazy shit, but if we call her out now, we're disloyal and all this weird ass shit she was trying to say. Like, come on, like, the fuck? Like, that shit's weird. Everybody always coming down on people for responding to Clyde instead of Clyde starting the shit. Because Clyde started every beef that she has.
Exactly. I mean, everybody can't be lying. Everybody can't be fucking lying.
Facts.
Everybody just hear that nigga speaking on it so they know what's going on, so she don't manipulate motherfuckers and get shit confused out here, man.
The only reason Clay out here is because she thinks she's gonna keep a nigga. Money don't keep a nigga. Pussy, money, that don't keep a nigga.
What about that old lady that gave her $500 and then when she found out about her giving ICE money allegedly, right? Then she almost had a heart attack and her husband had to call EMS because that's not what she was donating to Clyde for. What about that? Yeah. Like, Clyde out here doing the most. She doxing people, fires their medical records. She doing this, that, and the fifth. Like, she out here bad. Going after, you know, victims of molestation, and none of them people that watch her are offended when she says shit like that. That's weird to me. And even if they're not vocal about it, there's got to be some people that are in there. Say she has a room of 200, 300 people, right? When she's really kicking up dust, right? Well, there has to be at least some victims in there that she's offending. Some light-skinned people that she's in there offending. You know what I'm saying? All type of shit or whatever.
Okay, she tried to come
that part too. Like, that's like racist. She be going at white people, light, dark.
You black yourself. That's like self-hatred saying shit like that. Monkey shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. It's sad, but
I wish we could do like YouTube interventions, man. You know how we do these panels? If they could have a panel with like one square in the middle and then everybody just around it, I'm like,
that'd be fire,
like, you fucking up.
It don't gotta be until like you bashing them. It could be, you know,
just around them.
More feedback. You feel me? Like, look, you gotta, you know what I mean? And then the next person go, he feel, and then the person in the middle he express his views. You feel me? That'd be hard. That's dope. I like that.
I'll be having ideas, man. Set it up, Queen. Figure it out.
Shit, I'll try.
We got him
Right.
Let's get a contract going. It's timestamp. This is our intellectual integrity. So if anybody come up with that, we can sue their ass.
Hell yeah. That's your intellectual integrity because you just said it. So shit, you better be
online.
Right in the middle. He said right in the middle.
Yeah, niggas out here crazy. Look, we need you to pull up to the show. You bugging. That shit, man. We gotta talk, man.
It's gonna be like a hot seat, and it's gonna be time. You're gonna see the time for each person to speak. Everybody gonna have like 1 minute to get their shit off, and everybody else mute it. So you can't mute or unmute. You just wait for your time. You miss your time, it's your fault. And the person in the middle get like 2-3 minutes to respond.
I think that'd be hot. I think it will.
That'd be fire. I like that right there. You know what I'm saying? They put that play together, man.
You already know. My queen, she be having businesses, man. I'm gonna tell her about it because you know I'll be on this shit on my free time. She be like, what the hell are y'all talking about today? I'll be like, a whole bunch of shit. You can watch it, you can play it back. Shit.
Someone said drop the link.
Who is that?
Is that the same girl?
Oh, yeah,
girl.
she keep asking to come back. Her name is
That's weird, girl. I'm telling you, she's drunk.
I think Star said she back. I can't say the first part because I got a queen, so Star's back.
It's called a roasting session, Baby Dream said.
Hey, I got the gasoline for the fire, so we're gonna roast.
Hell, nah. Get these likes up.
Yo, ISIS chat mixed with Queen's chat is funny as hell. I ain't even gonna lie. We both got some jokesters on both sides.
Hell yeah, we be talking cat shit.
Some people's lives be arguing, but they kind of just flowing together.
Natty, come up here.
Hello.
That's that girl.
Hi, I was just calling to say that Queen's Thrones, I think you're mistaken when you say that can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I think you're mistaken when you say that Clyde revealed what's her name, Day One's health information. She didn't. I was actually there during that live, and Day One revealed her own information. She's the one that said that she has HIV. Clyde did not reveal that, so you're mistaken by saying
when they started beefing, she went on all of her panels and she put that information out there to expose Day One. It wasn't. That's not what I'm talking about. But I have all of Clyde's.
Right, exactly. I was there when it all occurred. And Day One revealed it. She like
I have all
her, I was there that day. Day One like revealed it. She turned her camera on. She showed us her play. She was like, and I have HIV because she thought that Clyde was going to reveal it to everyone, but Clyde didn't reveal it. But once she revealed it, then it's open season. I mean,
and
everybody knows about
it. To throw it in her face, ma'am, is that okay?
She threw. Okay, So apparently, right, her and Day One were friends, right? So she knew everything that happened with her and Suge. She started throwing all that stuff in her face. So like, you guys can't act like, you know, if someone's going to talk about her, she's going to talk about them as well. Like, you can't like just have it one-sided because
and
you
vice
guys.
versa.
But you're kind of biased because I feel like you don't like her, so you're like taking Day
No,
One's
it's
side.
more than I don't like her. It's more than I don't like her. She fouled me, so I'm speaking facts on her. I'm not even up here. I don't even think I called her a bitch or a hoe
Right,
or
I just
anything.
want to get out of that because you're saying that she revealed it to the public.
But she
that
also
this woman has
put it out there as to bully her,
that.
and with her being, she put it out there as to bully her also. And then with her being in the pharmaceutical business or whatever, tech, pharmacy tech, that is not appropriate at all. Period. There's just things that you don't do. If she told her that, she told her that in confidence. And
but she
Clyde is always doing shit
like
like
that.
that.
Like, you're not like.
But you're on Clyde's side, so I'm not here to even really argue with you, boo.
No, it's not.
Like,
I'm not arguing with you. I just wanted to reveal because you're saying something that's not true. So you're putting it out there that Clyde revealed it on YouTube when it was that woman, Day One,
okay,
who revealed her status on YouTube.
Do you remember the live stream where her and Renee were sitting there talking, and Renee was like, "I'm about to put motherfuckers' medical records out there and shit." And
no, I don't
Renee,
even know who Renee is. No,
okay, see, and then so I understand what you're saying, but there's also a previous time where Clyde was cool with Renee putting it out and also doing so and saying so on her platform. So it's not just the one time, baby. You tried, and I mean no disrespect by saying that, but you kind of don't know the whole story.
No, but I know when it's all was revealed. That's my whole point. Is
no, but if you don't know about Renee, then you don't know the whole story.
Right.
What I'm saying to you, Queen's Throne, is that I was there when it was revealed by Day One, and everyone kept saying, "Day One, why are you revealing your medical information?" And Clyde, and I was there when she did it. That's what I'm saying. If anything happened after that, Clyde spoke on it.
Look, what we'll do is we'll reverse that or whatever. I don't really give a fuck about what you're talking about or whatever. But we'll reverse it and we'll just say it's inappropriate for her to put out or bully somebody's status or whatever as in a dragging session when you have an issue with them. She put out more information about that lady too. So whichever way you want to slice it, fine, whatever.
That's my whole thing. It's like,
well, Day One's not here to speak up for herself.
You guys are all dragging each other.
Nobody's dragging her. I'm not dragging her. I've been gone for days. I've been gone for days. And before that, I was gone for days, and she kept my name in her mouth.
No, I'm not referring to right now. I'm just saying that you all, go back and forth and drag each other all the time. I don't agree with any of it, to be honest with you. But I'm just saying, like, you all do that. You guys all say things that are offensive to one another. So I don't know how, like, you guys try to act like, well,
okay,
she's more offensive.
If you were molested and somebody threw your molestation in your face,
that's not cool.
And went after your children, talk shit about your mother, your father, your grandmother, all type of other things. Like she said that I be fucking on animals and shit. Like she tried to say that I have sex with my dog. I don't even have a dog or a cat that lives in my house. So like, why are you breathing so hard into the phone, baby?
Who that? Yeah.
That's not me. That's not me.
That is you, because every time it happens, your little meter thing. Just watch. She's gonna do it again.
What am I doing?
You trying to catch your breath?
Like, you're breathing hard as hell. I'm not trying to be mean.
You guys are trying to deflect. You guys are trying to deflect on what I'm saying. Like, I'm
no, honestly, I'm not trying to be mean.
First of all, if I am breathing, I'm doing something normal. Like people breathe, right? Like I don't get it. Like I'm confused.
I'm not coming at you. I'm just saying, like,
I'm not breathing heavy.
I'm just saying for people in the live or whatever. You know,
I put the mic away from my mouth.
Okay, I'm not coming at you. I'm just saying.
It's okay.
She could have ran across the whole fucking house or something. You don't know what the hell. She could be doing laundry, taking care of.
It's that man preaching. Whatever his name. He's the one reading. It's him.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is him. It's him.
I'm on camera. If I was reading,
Mute up.
Okay, yeah. I'm
He wasn't doing that before you came on.
Well, it's not me. And I'm breathing right now. You can hear me breathing?
She's trying to hold it in.
I'm breathing. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, that wasn't me. I don't get it.
All that shit in, right?
You guys are best. You guys are best.
Look,
I like her.
You cool. You can take a joke. But this is the whole thing about it. If Clydiva was the type of person that could just sit back and at least take a joke or at least take an ounce of criticism, it wouldn't have gotten to this level. You know what I mean? You see how just easily you came in with smoke and then you was like, oh, I can laugh at that because it was genuinely funny. The amount of lives we did with Clyde, if somebody was roasting me like that and it was funny like that, I would have had to come in there like, hold on, man, y'all getting at me. I gotta come at one of y'all. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think with Clyde is like she has so many people attacking her that it gets I can take that. No, personally, I can take all the people attacking me at one time.
Why do you think that is? You think people just get on the internet and find the same person to mess with?
I don't know, but I have her back because I don't like people attacking her. I feel bad for her. I have a soft heart for her, so I'm like, I just feel bad about it. And
until she dragged your kids.
Well, I don't have kids. So I'm not worried about that.
Or until she dragged anything about you.
Right. Because she gonna go to a level that you would never expect any adult to go to. And you gonna be like, that was ridiculous at first. And then she gonna keep doing it. Then you gonna be like, wait, hold on, somebody need to punch her in the mouth. And then you gonna say something. That's exactly what happened with everybody else. They get mad.
Yeah, I have to see for myself. But, I have to see for myself. I haven't had any interaction with her like that. I am a mod in her chat. She's never done anything to me. So.
So you're a mod?
Yeah, I'm a mod. I won't say my name. I won't say my name, but yeah, I'm a mod.
You don't got to. You see all the bullshit. You see it.
I haven't been a mod that long.
I'm glad she said that. You a mod, so you a mod, right? So that means you in tune with the channel. You know what's going on.
I've only been.
Oh wow, she's gonna be at you. She's gonna be at you.
What?
A couple of months.
She's gonna drag you.
Yo, a couple of months is enough to know what's going on, right? So you've been tuned into a live. Hold on, let me ask you a question real quick. You've been tuned into a live, right? So, like, if you see what's going on, like, you think that's normal behavior, the shit that be going on, like the shit that she doing? Huh?
I mean, like I said, I've only been watching her for a little while.
Okay, all right, that's not what I'm asking you. Don't answer the question.
Okay, let me give you my take on it. Okay, because like I said, I've only been watching her for a little while. I know she had an incident with Suge, and after that, I just saw everybody attacking her. They were like laughing at her because Suge put all her nudes out. They were like all jumping on her, and it was like, oh my god, this is crazy. Like, why are they doing this? Like, they should be going against Suge for putting her nudes out, but nobody cared. They were just still going after her. So that's why I got her side.
But you don't even know what happened, what Clyde had did before that to even really speak on any really thing, period, though. And I mean that in no disrespect or whatever, but if you don't know the whole story or whatever, then you can't judge people for what they haven't done.
Right, but that's like Queen's Throne, right? That's like anybody coming into the situation, right? Like if I'm watching Clyde, right? I found her online. I started watching her. I liked her, right? And I see a bunch of people coming to attack her. You guys are just gonna look like the villain. I mean, no one else. This is what goes on when anyone comes to start watching her. No one's gonna know anything about the backstory. You guys just look like villains. That's what I'm telling you. You guys look like villains.
Follow somebody, you need to do your research. You don't follow somebody blindly and then be like, oh, they're the.
I'm not following her. Like she's not my leader, right?
She's somebody that you're following because you are though. You came over here to cape for. I mean, no disrespect. I feel it. You know what I mean?
But she's not my leader, right? Like she's somebody that I like.
Well, you admire her. You admire her channel.
She's entertaining. She's entertaining. Yeah.
I mean, to you, I don't know if. Go ahead. I'm gonna be quiet.
You really answer my question. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that's kind of
funny.
What's the question?
I'm sorry. What's your question?
I'm doing the trolling thing. But listen, I just asked you, is you think that 2 months, because you keep trying to make it sound like I only been in there 2 months, like you don't know what's going on in there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying the shit that you've been watching her do on the joint, is that like normal? Would you see yourself doing that on the panel?
I mean, you know, everybody lives their lives the way they want to live their life, right? Like I live my life. I can't judge other people's lives, right? So like I live my life the way I live my life. I'm not gonna judge anyone else's life. I'm sure you have friends that may do things that you don't do, right? So
that's a fact.
Okay, so that's what it is.
Did you buy your wrench? Did you pay $50 for a wrench?
No, I just donate. I donate to her. I didn't buy a wrench.
Did it equal up to $50?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you keep saying. So somebody mentioned, this is a general question, like, say somebody in the morning they get up and they drinking they pop a bottle and they drinking early in the morning and drinking liquor afternoon, night, every day. That's normal shit.
I mean, like I said, you know, everyone lives their lives the way they live their lives, you know, and that's just that.
No, I'm actually, that's right, but do you feel like normal shit? You're right. Do you feel like normal
I can't really say, you know, I can't say. You know, who am I to say whether it's normal? Who am I to judge? You know, only God can judge, right? So.
Yeah, this is a cloud. This is a cloud detective. I smell a cloud detective.
You got to look at the people that follow her, and then, you know, kind of get a understanding of their characteristics and what would attract them to something like that.
Right.
She's entertaining. To be honest with you, she's entertaining. I mean, I know you guys, like I said, you're biased, but she's entertaining. It's the reason why she has so many people in her chat. She's entertaining, so that's why people go there. She's pretty funny. You have to.
Why are you over here though? I mean, no disrespect.
Because I started following Ice when she was
live right now though. Like,
I'm not sure. When she and Ice started, you know, their little thing, I started following him. So that's why I'm over. That's how I know that he's live, because I started following him then. That's how I found out who he was. I thought he was a stand-up guy. You know, he said he wouldn't do the stuff that Suge did, you know? So
I did. What you talking
about? No, you revealed her nudes. You revealed her nudes.
No, I did not.
Before she met this nigga.
She put a news. I didn't put it out there. You see the picture that I got.
And she was proud of it. She was.
Her hand is over her shit. You don't see nothing. That's a lie. So don't believe that dumb shit.
So okay, so let me ask you a question. If you have let me ask you a question, Clyde. I mean, I'm sorry, Ice, I'm crazy. If you have a child, right? If you have a child, right?
Yeah.
If you have a daughter, and some man did that to her, how would you feel about it?
She does it to herself though.
No, I'm asking Ice if he had a daughter and some dude did that to her.
All right.
How would you feel about it?
Everybody lives their life how they live it. I can't put God to
like me.
I mean, that's how we gonna do it.
Okay.
You know
So you admit did you want that done to your daughter, right? So that's you admitting that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, just think about it that way.
I admit that. That's not a cool thing to do. You feel me? I get it. You feel me? But when you out here playing with people like that and you doing things and bringing that energy towards you, you can't get mad when people do it back to you. You feel me? That's the thing. You can't get out here and be out here talking to people's kids, talking about their dads, and be doing all of these things, and think people's not gonna react and come vicious to it.
Like I told you before, it was Gotti. You know that was Gotti that put your brother on the screen.
No, but she know that. She know what's going on. She just try to play like she don't know what he's gonna do and what's going on. That's the thing. She know that. She's trying to do it all for the views and, you know what I mean, laughing, hee like that's funny to her. So you want to play and think those is games and those jokes. People could really, I could talk about you and go in too. It's easy, like, you feel me? So you don't. That's not how you do things. That's not how you deal with people. So it's gonna be a reaction to what you do. So you can't be playing like that with people. Everybody ain't like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I know
y'all sit up there and laugh at it and thinking it's cool. Hee ha.
No. When
let me say this. Y'all laugh at the shit she do. Hee ha. And then when niggas respond to it and go in, y'all be like, oh, he's foul. But it's not foul when she's doing it to other people.
No, when Gotti did that, everyone in the chat said Gotti should not be doing stuff like that. Everyone said that. She kicked him off immediately. She said Gotti don't do that one.
She do that for the comments because it's gonna make her look. But she knew what's going on. That's the part that you're not trying to get clear.
Okay, I mean,
she was cool with that. She know that was the play.
I think like both of our parts, right? Like I can't prove that she knew that she didn't know. You can't prove that she knew, right? Like
I can prove that. I know that by how her moving and her actions and who she really is. Yes, by what she's been doing out here. What's the pattern with her? How's the proof not there? It's there. She did everybody in this room right here is could tell you what she did.
Facts.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So you said that she made fun of you being molested, right? Mm-hmm. So like, can you tell me like what happened? Like, did she just start attacking you, or were you not saying that that's right or that's wrong?
I already explained this in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
But basically, there was a panel that I was on, which is one of my friends who this friend's panel later on, because of this situation, she dragged her deceased daughter. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we were on a panel and the whole situation with her in World News came up. The pictures or whatever. I asked about the pictures, like what pictures? What are y'all talking about? And then I was filled in. Miss Meat weighed in and was like, we can't be doing this as women. I'm not looking at her like she's a victim because she should have known better. And then I basically weighed in and said what I said, which was, yeah, as women, we need to conduct ourselves better. I didn't disrespect her or nothing. Later on that night, Clyde made a video going at Miss Meat, that's the women's panel that we were on, her deceased child. And then I had spoke up about that the next day. And then Clyde, in that live stream, because she had found out that the topic had came up in my live stream, it wasn't about that. I look into completely other topics, but it came up during the live stream or whatever, and then she found out about it. She went live, and in that live stream, she talked about me being molested at 4 years old, how my mother's not shit, and all this other type of shit. And recently, if you claim that you're there, right, you would have heard her say that my dad wasn't shit, and my uncles wasn't shit for allowing that to happen, even though my dad was fighting for this country, okay, and so were my uncles. You feel what I'm saying? So I never really did shit to her, but then 10 months ago, she came at my mom, and you're mad because I'm at her mom now?
No, I just wondering what occurred. I never knew what occurred between you guys. That's all I'm just asking.
She brought up my children. She called me a fucking, like, that I have hostages. I hold my man hostage, that he's my slave. She talked about my fucking kids, all type of shit. So I'm just confused at why everybody doesn't understand that a motherfucker that goes through shit like that is probably going to respond. Yeah. And I've been off of this motherfucker 4 days, man. I haven't been on here talking shit or whatever. I just been working. You know what I'm saying? Doing what the fuck I got to do and taking care of my family and shit.
Yeah.
And she keeps my name in her mouth. Like days before that, I was gone for like, I don't know, like 3-4 days or whatever, because of how my job is and shit. I had to do that sometimes. And then she was trying to drag me during that, and I wasn't even here to say shit. So when I respond, I'm wrong. You know what I mean? And if you go back and watch this, man, you will see that I wasn't disrespecting her. The only time I brought up children is to go back to the fact that she's a mother and she should conduct herself better. That's all. I didn't come in here like, yeah, smoking on mamas and them. You know what I mean? I didn't say some fucked up shit about Clyde. I even witnessed some fucked up shit about Clyde. But in reality, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Guys,
I don't agree.
why are you guys showing that?
Right, she's live right now. So I'm just saying,
Okay,
like,
so anyway,
don't do too much because she's gonna be like, oh, you're trying to steal my subscribers, and she's gonna be at you. She's probably talking about you right now.
she doesn't know.
I'm
She
not
doesn't
trying
know.
to be funny.
She doesn't know who I am. She doesn't know I'm on here. But anyway, I just hope that you guys can just go to your corners. I just wish you guys could just go to your corners. You know, you go to your corner,
I've been
go
in
in
my
the corner,
corner.
and you guys just, you know, it's just too much.
I've been in
And
my corner. I've
you
been
know,
in my corner
everybody has
chilling.
suffered, you know, death in their family, and it's, you know, it's heartbreaking. I don't like to see that on either side because I know I've experienced death and I know how that made me feel. So I wouldn't want anyone to go through that. So I wish you guys to
Were
just,
you
you know,
around there? Were you around on her channel just recently when they made a channel of my deceased grandmother and said the screen name of it was Queen's Throne was fucked at 4 years old?
No,
Were
I
you
know.
around her in there?
No,
See,
I'm
I'm not
not.
supposed to respond like, boy, you got like twisted. I mean that with respect, but hell no.
But all due respect, how do you know that was live?
I mean, she allowed it, and she had them coming and trolling in my chat room.
But that could be Gotti. You know, Gotti is a troll. So I
Okay, but were you also there when she claimed that I had sent people into her chat to, you know, ambush her or whatever? Because those two people are on the screen right with us. They're in the panel. And I
I
did not
remember
send
when this woman came in, the lady, but I don't remember when he came in.
Okay, but I got blamed for all of that, even though these people don't even, you know, they're my people and shit, but they don't even live in the same state as me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So how am I going to tell them what to do or what not to do? Just
Yeah,
like
I'm
you
a
guys,
grown ass woman. I'll do what I want.
right? Just like you guys are offended because we, or anytime that somebody talks about Clyde, well, I got people that are offended when motherfuckers do what she's been doing to me, and she followed each of them on different levels. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, she's just like a tornado running around, just fucking up everything in her path. And if we don't speak on it, it will continue and get worse. Now, those of you that are over there watching her and supporting her, great. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to get her subs or nothing like that because we talk about shit that a lot of people can't stomach or whatever. But you know, maybe y'all want to tell her that drinking every day and conducting herself in this manner, taking pills till she passes out, and that's not to, I'm not saying that to disrespect her, but that's not a good look. It's really not. And I'm wondering where are her supporters that are gonna, you know, try to guide her into better behavior. But you're coming down on people, I'm not saying you're being reasonable, but a lot of people come down on people that speak out about what Clyde's doing, like we have no business and how dare we and all this and that, and that's just crazy to me. I'm done.
Yeah, I got you. You know, I'm gonna get ready to go now, but I just, like I said, I hope you guys just, you know, after this is over, just go to your corners. Let's just, you know, let's make Black YouTube better. Okay, that's all I ask. All right, you guys, have a good one.
Salute.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
That was good. Hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, she talked with a little bit of sense, but she's still, you know, on the fence. Like, you can tell.
Yeah.
Once you get blocked, it's gonna be one side once you get blocked.
Sometimes you gotta live and learn. Right. Sometimes you gotta live and learn though. She'll have her running with Clyde and then she'll be like, nah, fuck that. You know?
Because people told me, and I was like, nah, yeah, it happened. You know what I'm saying? So,
but that's that loyalty though. That's that loyalty that old girl spoke of that is not being brought. But obviously it is because day after day I've seen you trying to take up for her. You would even, you know, block people in your chat or whatever. Not just, I'm saying you, and not that it was something bad or whatever, but you were. You know what I'm saying? Trying to give her respect over here, which I can understand or whatever. Not coming down on you about that. But you know what I mean? I've seen you jump over a lot of hurdles to accommodate her, and she cannot reciprocate.
Exactly. She wasn't doing the same. Like it wasn't the same thing on both ends. You feel me? So it's cool. Like we ain't even mad. You know, I just know she got issues. So I was like, whatever. You know what I mean? Something wrong with her. I gotta work on her a little bit harder. You feel me? But she's too much. Like she got too much. Like she bugged out. She went through something. Like she going through shit. You feel me?
That's facts. I mean, whatever you do, just be safe, shit. Because it
Okay,
would be
yeah,
really
that's
sad
right.
if something, you know what I mean, came out of this or whatever. Unfortunate. You know, at the end of the day, shit, I want everybody to be the best them. That's the only person I'm competing with. You know what I'm saying? Who I was before. I'm trying to become the best version of me. So I don't look at another YouTuber or commenter or anything like that as like, oh, you know, I got to be better than you or whatever. I want all of us to rise up. I may not never like Clyde, but I don't want her to be stuck in this bullshit.
Right. Even if you don't fuck with niggas.
Right.
For example, Willis Gotti, I hated him at first. That's why I jumped on so many of his panels just to tell him, like, nigga, you is not nobody. What are you talking about? You see what I'm saying? I got it off my chest. I realized he wasn't giving me no kind of energy back. Now, you could call that him feeling like he's an important person on YouTube, and I'm not. So he just, I'm ignoring the haters and they leave. But it's not like I was hating. I was just telling him what's up. But once I realized, like, he's genuinely, like, a normal kid, you know, that just be on the internet, I was like, all right, whatever. Now I don't think nothing of him. You see what I'm saying? And with Clyde, it was funny at first. But now that I see she's going to jump out the window at every given moment, I'm like, oh, shit. I can't even troll her no more. I don't even want, like,
He's like a kid. He never really experienced nothing. Like he watches a lot of gangster flicks and rap music. Yeah, the rap music and it influences gangster. You feel me? So he takes little clips from that and he tries to redo it on YouTube. And you know he talks that talk and he got a lot of niggas confused and all of that. But he's a clown. Everybody know that, a real one though. You know what I'm saying?
He's a funny kid. He's a funny kid. Like
he's a comedian. He's a little comedian though. He got a little something. I see a little spark in him.
Yeah,
but he do too much silly shit. You feel me?
He could like when I was telling him on this panel, like he could really do something with being funny and being goofy. It's a bunch of white boys on YouTube. They get 100,000, million subs, and they goofy, but they do it to people that's kind of safe, but not really. Like he want to poke the bear when you can go and poke or swat at the butterflies on YouTube. You want to poke the bear. You want to talk about real niggas in the streets. When you live in New York, like New York is not a very big place. Florida is a little bit more spread apart. You can probably talk shit to a nigga in like I don't know Orlando if you in Fort Lauderdale. You know what I mean? But you don't want to talk shit to a nigga in Miami when you in Dade. You see what I'm saying? I mean not Miami, but you know what I mean. And you know it's big, but New York is super close. So you can talk about a nigga in another borough. Then they could spin a block and be at your housing complex. You see what I'm saying? So he lucky niggas ain't catch him when it was hot. And he know how to stay in the house. That's one thing he know how to do. He know how to stay in the crib and wait for shit to die down. You see what I'm saying? He's a lucky kid, man. He like
the crib. And he come out with grandma, man. He come out with grandma. You know what I mean? That's his safety.
Right. Because you know ain't no real niggas going on. They always gonna get the pass with grandma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, you get the pass. You always gonna get the pass with grandma.
Yeah, all bottoms on with grandma.
Right. And he probably his Sunday best. I seen a couple of them pictures you put up there. And I'm like hating on that. I kind of wish sometimes I had a family structure like that to like put me. Like, beautiful thing. The shit that he had coming up, we kind of wish we had that growing up fucked up. You know what I mean?
Like, I even got no old bitches and nothing like that from the other.
Little Steve Madden's on his feet, you know. Shit, get his haircut real nice, you know.
How crazy is it?
Because it's what you want once you live through it, and you like, damn, you know, if I had that, I might not have boom, you know. So I don't know.
Why you want to go and jump into that lane And that's not just be you, man. And you're gonna strive, B. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about that life if you're into it, but don't act like you out the down and you killing niggas and you doing bids and you putting bricks at 11 years old. Like, niggas don't believe that shit.
And there's really nothing to glamorize about that lifestyle in reality, because you end up in jail or be prison or fucking in a casket, and that's some real shit. And I ain't soft or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I done got into hella trouble and shit in my younger years, but let me tell you, like, it's not shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I done spoke at schools to you know what I'm saying, juveniles and shit about staying on track. You know what I'm saying? Keeping your eye on the goal and running around in these streets. I don't give a fuck what's going on. That's just not it. We need everybody to excel. Like, that's dead ass.
And that's toxic because Bullet Scotty is one of those types of trolls that he's going to fan the flames. He's going to play every side and see where he can light the biggest fire and be cool enough with a person as to where if he hop on the panel, they'd be like, oh, he's goofy. We might let him on to speak his piece. You know what I mean? That's how he keep it. Like, he'll keep it at a certain level. That's why I let him on. That's why I got blocked immediately, because she was like, oh, he really not fucking with me. And he really is smart. He really is funny. Like, he's not about to play with me. I can't get nowhere edgewise with this nigga. So I'm just going to block him completely. But
yeah, because the other day he did a live, and I normally don't watch Gotti or whatever, but one of the royal family members had sent me a link or whatever, and I actually watched it. It was on Clyde or whatever, and he like kind of blew me away. You know what I'm saying? Because he was talking different than he acts normally. So I just want him. I want us all to be better than what the fuck. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like, this ain't it.
Yeah, so this is what he glamorized. He act like, you know, the streets, like, you know, say you niggas did that because they was trying to survive. You feel me? It wasn't, he wanted to do what he think because it makes you cool and you fit in and it makes you look like a tough guy. But, you know, people did things to survive. Like, certain niggas was probably in tight situations and all they had was that. So, you know what I mean? It wasn't like niggas is trying to glorify that or trying to be that. That was just dead and that was the only option. So that's what happened. You feel me? So
right.
that's what so the streets ain't really, you know what I mean? But it's cracked up to me. That's not the lane, man. You know what I mean? That's really not the lane.
It took my own homies crossing me, and not even on no like snake shit, but just doing shit that happens to you when you in certain situations. You know what I mean? And I had to distance myself from some niggas. I mean, I was to the point where, you know, I would trust being in certain places and being in certain situations with them, and they would be solid for the most part. But when it'll be other situations that are a little bit more sticky, where you see a crack in the armor and it's like, nah, bro, something bad gonna happen. If I keep taking it to higher levels, because you might not be as solid. You might be solid to a point, and that's just what happens in the streets. Because streets put pressure on niggas. You know, put pressure on niggas. Put pressure on your pockets. They put pressure on your living situations. They put pressure on everything. And if you're not solid all the way around, you're gonna burst somewhere. You see what I'm saying?
Bad shit.
Especially with what's going on now, our new norm. Like, shit's all backwards and fucked up. Look at the news and shit. Not saying that everything that's put on the news is 100% fact, but it's a lot of weird ass shit. Look, in the middle of the night, like, because I was working and shit, I ran across like a whole bunch of videos that came up in the last week, and they're all just crazy as hell. People acting out in public and all that. Like, there's some type of, I don't know, like some weird ass brainwashing or Manchurian candidate shit going on in this motherfucker, like dead ass. And I'm just like, wow, and you know what I mean? There's all this beef going on.
Like, they could have, like, they low key, like, just like let a couple of people out of the, like, an insane asylum somewhere to do a social experiment or something. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you never know with this pandemic, because even though everybody's in the house, you still got a whole lot of protests. So certain places in the world, it could be 1,000 people in one spot at any given time. You don't know when it's gonna spark up. It
could come from our cell phones. It could come from like a frequency that we cannot hear in our human ears, but it's affecting our brain. It could be, you know what I'm saying, 3G, 4G. It could be a lot of things. It could just be in the air. Because I'm not gonna go down this road, but I am a conspiracy theorist. And you know what I'm saying? The chemtrails, all that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit, because people are acting crazy as hell all across YouTube, in real life, all that. Like, it's weird.
Talk that shit. Them chemtrails in the sky. You looking out?
No.
Nanobots
in the air. Have you ever been outside and then you go inside or whatever, and then your skin kind of starts itching? Not like real bad where a rash comes, but you start itching all over your body. That's because the chemtrails have nanobots in them, and when they dropping down the chemtrails, it's getting in our water, in our skin, all that, and it'll make you itch or whatever. There's Morgellons syndrome, and that's what's linked to it. The shit that I'm referring to. So I'm gonna get deep as hell.
Hey, look, listen, I wanted to feed the brain of the family right now. Whoever watching, I'll be on ZX channel live. You know, I'll be on his panels. He cool ass old dude. They do book readings. They just started reading a book called The Wretched of the Earth. So if you got any time when you go live, they got a dude named Beasley, an older guy, and they read like 20 chapters a day, and then they talk about what they read. Now this book right here, it's dope. It's called The Wretched of the Earth. It's written by some France. I forgot his name, Leon France or something like that. You can Google it. Oh, but it talks about the civil rights movement and pretty much like oppression from white people to black people, and the mentality that it gives a person that lived under that oppression, whether it be directly from slavery or the descendants of those people, and how it trickled down to the police, and they're a part of the supremacy. I'm not gonna say white supremacy, because every day the world is showing us it's not about color, it's about money.
Right. It's also about bloodlines. You know what I'm saying, on many levels. Go ahead.
So it's called The Wretched of the Earth. His name is ZX, but the channel's called Grown Folks TV. You know what I mean? Don't come on their wild because they're gonna block. I'm telling you right now. Just play it back. You know what I mean? And just get some knowledge. But if you got something to say, I'll be in there all the time. They read books. You know what I mean? Because I was like, damn, please don't even live. You know what I mean?
Now I've been working my ass off.
And I get that money.
Hell yeah.
That's when I started working again. So, man, I told you I was gonna be passing out once I started working again. But it's good though, man. Let
me ask y'all a question. How y'all feel about the vaccination thing and all of that? Like, what's y'all views on
that?
Man, I'm against that shit. My children they ain't with that shit at all or whatever. I'm about to start homeschooling my kids as well. Because I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota and shit. So like, our kids don't start school until after this little holiday that's coming up in a couple of days or whatever. And then so I'm getting all that lined up too. You know what I'm saying? Because if they're going to make it mandatory for a child to be in school, you know what I mean, and they got to get vaccinated, they already have the vaccine out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing into any of that. And something that all parents should do, if you are obviously, you know, sending your children to a school, make sure you write up or type up a piece of paper that states, look, I don't want for no reason for my child to be given, you know, aspirin or, you know, vaccinations, because they do sometimes vaccinate in schools, just like they do the dental program in schools and stuff. But I also have it that I don't want my kids to be taught LGBT studies and shit, and not to be, you know what I'm saying, you know, looking at them fucked up or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I think that children's minds should not be, you know, thrown into that at a young age. They should be worrying about school, not all this extra shit. So on days like that, they have to forewarn me and stuff. So you can make it personalized or whatever. Go up to the bank or a currency exchange or wherever you go, get it notarized. They just stamp it, look at your ID, bam, and bring it up to the school. That way, if they overstep any boundaries, they in trouble. Because one of the flu shot, no, it was the Gardasil shot against HPV. They immunized a whole classroom of girls, and all the girls pretty much got sick one way or another. Fever, some died. You know what I'm saying? So because they are doing these programs, and we got to stand up against that shit.
Yep.
And this new shot allegedly has an RFID chip in it. And they're not like saying that it's not or whatever. They're saying that the RFID chip allegedly stays in the barrel of the needle, but a RFID chip could be small. So we're talking about like smaller than a grain of rice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you just never know.
Yeah. They don't the technology that the government has, they backdated to us about 100 years.
Yeah.
So everything that they have, we're 100 years behind. So all these cell phones,
I would say at least 50. I'd say at least 50. Yeah.
50.
Yeah, they got pictures where people were walking around with a version of a cell phone and all that.
Yeah.
And the little Bluetooth things, they tried to lie and say that was some type of hearing aid or whatever. Like, what? And it wasn't.
Right. So, I mean, whatever, if we don't know they can do it, then why
I'll be right back. My daughter needs me. I'll be right back.
Because when you talk about stuff like, really, really small chips, you're like, the smallest chip I've ever seen was those chips they put in the computers, and they're about this big. You know what I mean? But shit, 50 years later, with technology, they fit on your finger, on the tip of your finger.
So what you think them chips could do? Like if they could put them chips in you, like what could they do to you if they get that shit?
They're gonna track you.
Yeah, but not just that, but I think the way they're gonna try to sell it to people is they're gonna say, okay, we put it in you, and it holds so much technology. And also, yes, you can be tracked with it because it has a little GPS technology in it. That connects to cell phone towers and satellite, right? But not only that, they're gonna say all the doctor has to do is pull out his little iPad and log into your chip and see anything that's wrong in your body. So we don't have to cut you open. We don't have to do all these tests. We don't have to put our hand up your butt to check for colon cancer. We don't gotta do none of that weird stuff. All the doctor has to do, all he has to do is get on his little iPad, log into your thing, find your insurance. Once that clears, then we just pull up your whole thing and we just find out what's wrong and we do the necessary procedures. That's why, it's good for you. Put the chip in your body. It's not gonna harm you. It's really small. There's some shit like that. You know what I mean? But what they not gonna tell you, just like how when you accept agreements on your phone and shit like that, all that small print, ain't nobody read that. Man, all of that shit could say in real small print at the bottom. Oh yeah, and by the way, this company could take you in the middle of the night. You're gonna be like, accept it because I want to play with this phone.
I want to say something about what one of the commenters said. Good Karma said, be careful with getting your blood drawn. Did you guys know that to do most tests, all they need is a drop of blood? So why sometimes do they go, when you go to the doctor or whatever, or to the hospital, do they take 7 vials of blood? You see what I'm saying? And there is actually people out here that drink blood and they're involved in the elite and all that. That's kind of going down another road or whatever. But I mean, they get real wicked out here. So be careful because your blood has your life force in it. If I take, let's say I'm a doctor, right? I'm not a doctor, but let's just say I am. And I go take blood from Ice, right? I can monitor his like blood levels, what his organs are doing, all that shit off of the blood that he may have given me like a while ago. You see what I'm saying? Like they can monitor all of that. And then when they get this RFID chip in there, what's to say that they're not just gonna shut your shit down? Well, if that, some people right now just to keep a job are getting an RFID thing just put in their hand, or even to like have a membership at a gym and shit. They're having to put in their hand all type of shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, even if they get an ID, it's gonna be your money, gonna be on that shit, all that shit. You know what I mean?
And ID 2020 is right around the corner or whatever. They're trying to push that. So you have to sign up. You have to get an ID 2020, and basically it will monitor you all across the world or whatever. We're moving into a one world government. You know what I'm saying?
I know you're not religious, but the Bible does say in the Revelations that the mark is gonna be in your hand or in your forehead.
Yep.
So, I mean, even though Queen ain't religious, a lot of people I respect that. I'm not necessarily religious either. You know what I mean? How could it have come out so long ago? And they're talking about shit that only technology can do now. You see what I'm saying? Because I highly doubt back in the day people thought they were gonna go around with branding irons and fucking brand the palm of your hand or your forehead. You see what I'm saying? I highly doubt that's what they was thinking at the time. So it foresaw that at least. And now they're talking about cell phone technology that could study your brainwaves with your phone. So you can call somebody with your thoughts, or you can answer the phone. It's like it'll ring. It'll send you a signal. Yeah, it'll send you a signal. And the technology, it just tells you, oh, you're getting a phone call. And you just be like, answer.
Yep, in your brain or whatever, some shit.
So
they trying to turn us into cyborgs.
Right, they trying to
robots.
R2D2.
Upload consciousness into a computer so you can live forever.
Yeah,
that's what it is. And the cloning thing. That cloning. How y'all feel about that cloning shit is real? Like,
well, okay, it depends. It is real. But if you are Rh negative as far as your blood type, you cannot be cloned, and that's a scientific fact. Now, for those, because there's 85% of the population is Rh positive, they can be cloned, and that's another thing. Be careful about them taking your blood because they can make a clone off of your DNA, which is your blood, your spit. They can take an old cigarette, a cup. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. If we was to get into some deep dark shit, but I'm saying if you're going to the doctor and voluntarily doing this, or signing up for those DNA registries or whatever, where you got to spit in a little vial thing and send it off, they're keeping your DNA forever. Look, they got Henrietta Lacks DNA from years ago or whatever. That's what they used to fight like certain things allegedly, and they made vaccinations off of it. You know what I'm saying? But they killed that woman because her DNA just kept multiplying and multiplying her blood cells, so they would never run out. Her name is Henrietta Lack. You can look into it. Yep. And like the TV shows and the cartoons tell you, and sometimes it be the good people trying to warn people, and sometimes it just be Hollywood spitting in people's face like, hey, we can do this. Like a show like Rick and Morty. If you look at the whole concept of the show, the grandfather's a scientist. He's an astrophysicist or some shit like that. And so he creates all these stuff, and a big part of the show is they go to different planets. And the big part of the show is Morty can be cloned an unlimited amount of time. Yep. You know what I mean? And there's a vast amount of Ricks. It's a bunch of Ricks. Did you know that Rick is Morty and Morty is Rick? Yeah, it's just like in the future type of shit. Right. It's deep as hell. But they're telling us in these movies, in these movies and these shows, they didn't pull it. They're not that creative. Right. You know what I'm saying? They're actually telling you the truth, and by doing that, they feel like no guilt on what's going to come because they're going to feel like we told you, but they're playing a game or whatever. And a lot of people think that when you go to the movies and all these action shit, like action films or characters or whatever, Batman and shit, like there's probably not a man running around here with wings on him and shit, right? But like that has some, like, people are out here with certain type of gifts or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they just heighten it up a little bit to make it a little bit more interesting sometimes, or to spin the story or whatever, and then put it out there. But it's based on real shit.
Yeah, like Star Wars. All the biggest astrologers and people that claim that they know about what's going on with like extraterrestrials and stuff. They're like, yo, Star Wars. Like look, I know you got creative people out there, you got artists and stuff, but the Star Wars has like what 100 different types of species or some shit like yo, and they all are unique. They speak different languages. They come from different planets. Like,
and what about Star Trek?
Star Trek too.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Planet of the Apes. Where the fuck did they get that shit from?
Yo, Planet of the Apes was
Black Panther. Black Panther. No, not a man that turns into a panther, but his energy, his life force, when he turned up and when he get all grimy shit, probably resembles a Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And a lot of this stuff, you know, that they're dangling in front of our faces is also stuff that they remove from our history books so that a lot of us don't even know who we are, how capable we are and all this. And that's why they need to dumb us down with these chemicals. I mean, they're giving us meat that's been glued together or, you know, back in, you know, blood or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that they can package it back up and here's some pork chops or here's a steak. You know what I mean? That steak old in a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Because they do got meat glue. I mean, I seen a video where a woman cut open a watermelon and the shit was plastic. It was like you could peel the watermelon. Where have you ever seen that you could peel a watermelon like an orange? Like on the inside.
They doing that thing, you know, this shit don't got that seed. What's that shit called? Like how they make the shit grow.
If it doesn't have seeds, that's how you know it's a fake.
Yeah, if it doesn't have seeds.
Anything grown artificially, it doesn't have the nucleus. Because it's grown from the outside in instead of from the inside out.
And they have patents or whatever for all, you know what I'm saying, fruits, vegetables, any type of food in real life. Did you know that even collecting rainwater is actually against the law? Yes. It's against the law.
It's natural, though.
Because they don't want you to do research on what the fuck is really in there. Because if you ever expose them, oh, you weren't supposed to be collecting rainwater anyway, and then they're gonna have some scientists or some, you know, weird people do, you know, public relations on it, and more than half of people are gonna believe what, you know, is being brought to them.
Yeah, and the inquisitive minds of the world, we get shunned because it's like, if we, all right, let's say we live in a perfect world where the people who had the power were like, no, you want knowledge? Here's knowledge. You know what I mean? It's not gonna affect me. I'm good. You know, you want to know what the fuck's going on here? Have it. But we don't live in that space. You know, we're in a different type of space. We're in a different type of time. We're on a different type of planet. You know what I mean?
You know about the Mandela effect, Ice? So the Mandela effect is, I don't know if you remember like hearing about Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay, so basically there's some people believe that Nelson Mandela died in prison in Africa, and some people believe, or remember, I should say remember, keyword remember, that he got out of prison in Africa and then he died some years later. But in reality, that was just the start of the Mandela effect, so it was actually named in honor of him or whatever, whoever stumbled across or called it out. So basically where we're looking at products, right, that have changed, or where the world that we know it, or the matrix that we're living in has changed from when we were children to now. Meaning like the Ford symbol, Berenstein Bears or Berenstein Bears.
Yeah.
Remember, Skippy or Skip. Or you know, some of them I may not remember verbatim, but there's like thousands of these issues where things are not matching up to what they used to be, and there was no official change in the matter. You know what I'm saying? Brought to the public.
I want to speak on that. All right, look. Okay, so the scientists have a machine that's a big ring. They call it the it's a hadron collider. It's a massive machine. It spans across multiple states underground. It's a big ass ring, and what they do with it, they need it to be that big, so because they break down atoms into protons and neutrons. That's what makes up atoms.
CERN, yep, Renee CERN, yep.
Right. So,
CERN and Hart.
CERN and Hart, exactly. So this hadron collider, this big ass underground machine, they take these neutrons and protons and they start them from both ends and then they shoot them all the way around this big ass machine so they can smash them into each other at high rates of speed.
Facts.
Because they know that if you do that at a fast enough rate of speed, you can generate a massive amount of energy. Now, what some people believe is that when they smash them together too big, it causes a ripple effect in space and time. That's what they call a glitch in the matrix. A bunch of scientists ain't about to come out and tell the world, hey, by the way, we just skipped 24 hours in space time.
Exactly.
For the most part, people ain't gonna know what the fuck they talking about. And the other half that kind of get it is gonna lose their fucking mind.
I mean, there's also a belief that, or scientific knowledge or information that points out that even like in the same house that we're living in or in our same surroundings, there's other dimensions of people living in our same space. You see what I'm saying? So in your house, there's other dimensions of people also living there at the same time as you. And also there's literature to state that when you go to sleep, you actually go to a different dimension and have a whole nother life. And then you wake up in this dimension and you go to sleep over there. It gets deep as fuck, bro. Like, dead ass.
Yeah, so since we talking about, you know, outer space and the world and shit like that, you know, it's a lot of debate about, is the world round or is it flat? Like, what y'all believe in here? Like,
I don't got no dog in that race. I don't know. When I got enough money to get a spaceship to shoot myself out there and look at it, then I might argue with somebody. But until then, my hands is up, man.
I believe it's both round and flat. You know what I'm saying? Because something could be round, right? But flat. You feel what I'm saying? And if you look up like flat Earth, you'll see the firmament. You know what I'm saying? I could pull up an image or whatever if I need to. But you can look at it.
It's not round like no globe shit. It's probably like flat,
like a sphere. I think it's like a sphere. I'll try to get a picture.
I mean, my opinion on that is, listen, at one point they said, oh, the Earth is flat. Back in the day, they thought that Christopher Columbus, he got in a boat and he went as far as he could from one. The nigga didn't even know where he was going. Let's start with that. He didn't even know where the fuck he was going. And even though he was Christopher Columbus,
didn't figure nothing out. That's
I really think he did a lot. I think he landed somewhere where he found some bad bitches and some good liquor. He was like, I'm just chill here. I've been sailing. It's weird shit out there in that water. We saw a jellyfish that was this big. I'm not fucking. My niggas is dying of you know, scurvy and shit. I'm good, you know. And I think he just stopped at one point. And they just said, all right, look, Christopher, write down what you know. We'll make a map. Blah blah. You know. So at one point they said it was flat. You know. And then Christopher Columbus, he supposedly sailed around the world. And then they came back and said it was round. And then everybody agreed. But see, in that point in time, there was a lot of argument and debate. And there was a whole side of scientists that was like, you don't have enough evidence to know that, but you're going to tell the whole world that it's round. And they were just like, yeah. And that's what you call majority rule. It's people that make decisions about this world, but they're just regular human beings. They're not like space aliens and nobody fucking special. They think they're special because they got money. They can use that money to do whatever they want. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean they're special. They just can, you know, to victor go to spoil. So whoever wins the war, write the rules. Period. They kill all the young men that's old enough to fight, and then they put everybody else in slavery, and then they fuck the women. that's just how war works.
So this is what I'm saying. Like, it could be some shit like this because I don't believe all the way that the way out of this motherfucker is through, you know what I'm saying, the sky or whatever. I think through the core of the earth is the way about this motherfucker. And that's why they protect Antarctica. So let me also pull up a couple other images. So this one right here, whatever, right? Also, there's other ways to look at it, but this is just a depiction or whatever, but there's other images that better depict it. But there's a firmament that goes over, like, it's kind of like we're in a globe. Like, you ever seen one of those globes that you shake up and then the snow comes or whatever? So I think that it's something like this.
Yo, hold up, leave that right there. You remember the Bart Simpson episode?
Yeah, the Simpsons, they be telling the truth. They be telling the truth.
They did.
Yeah, and then it shattered, remember, and then didn't Homer or something fall down there or some shit? Yeah. But they've been busting shit out for years. And a lot of even Trump becoming president. The whole scene of when he was on the escalator, if you guys go back to 2016, and when dude drops the sign and all that, that was already there. You got to know about the Illuminati cards too, because everything has already been written. They're playing off of a card deck. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, that's facts, I don't know if that was a troll or whatever, but he asked an interesting question. He said, "What war is going on underground?" If you're talking about the underground war, I think you're talking about. You want to look up a dude named Philip Schneider. He has about a 3-hour lecture talking about how he used to be a geologist, and they would pay him to go underground when they would bore these giant holes underground so they could build their base.
And being a mom, I'll be back.
So this dude named Philip Schneider, his videos are still on YouTube. He dead now though. He tells a story about how he used to go underground and help them build these bases and let them know, what areas to do and not to do it. Because if you drill a hole somewhere in the wrong place, you might hit a water aquifer because it's underground pockets of water. It's pockets of water just sitting underground in like little pockets. And if you don't know where they are, if you hit it, it's gonna flood the whole shit. You know what I mean? So people go down there and help them with that. He said they were in a mine shaft. He said he fell down a hole and he saw a gray alien that hit him with some kind of weapon or something like that, and it blew off his fingers. Now I don't know if all of that's true, whatever. But he tells a real fantastic story about this shit. It was back in the 80s or the 80s or something. The video quality.
Who said that? What's his name?
It was Philip Schneider.
I heard that name.
Yeah, so he tells this fantastic story about this, about aliens shooting them with beams and stuff like that. And he was pretty much, he tells that story, but then for the rest of 2.5 hours, which is real interesting, he talks about how the government communicates with aliens. They know certain aliens are where they're at, because when he went to go get patched up or whatever, they told him to shut his mouth. He didn't see anything. They took him off the project. They wiped any record of him working with the government at all, and pretty much called him a fucking crazy person.
They've killed all the people that have spoke out about it. Like, far as, like even FBI agents and shit, they didn't took them out.
Yeah, what happened with Philip Schneider, to answer your question, Dylan, about the war underground, what happened was, they have something, you can Google it yourself, all this stuff you can research, so whatever. No, I'm not saying research, I'm talking about
research. I like shit like this. Like, that's
you gotta look up Dulce, New Mexico base.
Facts.
Now in this base,
everybody always trips off of Area 51, and that's not where it all goes down at.
It's all that Dulce.
Say that again. What's the name?
Dulce. DULCE. Dulce, New Mexico. That's where the base is. It's underground. It's a military base. It's more protected than Area 51. It's in the middle of nowhere, right? All right. So they say there's 7 levels, or is it 6? About 7 levels. Yeah. So on each level, they do different things. It's all scientists in there. They say the first level is just like regular scientists, like looking at plants and shit, blah blah blah. The second level is like they're looking at like DNA, animals, blah blah. The third level is when they start like seeing how they can clone shit, you know what I mean? Looking at rocks like from other planets and stuff like that. The fourth level is when it starts getting weird. That's when they start gene splicing. They start taking genes and mixing them. Like they'll put an animal with an animal and shit like that. And then the fifth one is like then they start doing like animals and humans together. Like they'll mix those genes up, or they'll mix certain different plants and shit like that. And then on 6, it's like that's where they actually have extraterrestrials working together with the human scientists. And those extraterrestrials have certain technology, certain knowledges, and they communicate. They don't really communicate with the human scientists like that because the way they work, they said the way they work together is real. Like the aliens don't really fuck with us like that, but some of them do, but a lot of them don't fuck with us. And it's like it'd be like gray aliens. The gray aliens is the ones you see in the movies. They got the long and the big eyes and stuff. They say that the gray aliens are nothing but skin suits. You know what I mean? It's just suits, and they're cloned, like cloned humanoids, and they're just used for slavery.
But there was an agreement that was made a long time ago. Go ahead.
That agreement was that they could work together in harmony as long as they don't like step over certain boundaries. Like the scientists ain't really supposed to communicate with aliens. They're just supposed to like share work, share information, and part ways. Then they said there are also the reptilian beings, because the reptilians, they're a different type of species. You know what I mean? Those are the motherfuckers that's trying to eat babies and take over the world. But we work with them. Our government knows about them. They know they exist, and they work with them just for their technology. Because our government is like, okay, if we have
the reptilian thing. So you think you believe that is reptilians out here amongst us in the world?
Yes,
definitely. Yeah. They can cloak and they can resemble human beings.
They can shapeshift. And the thing about them is they think this planet belongs to them. You see what I'm saying? And the way the war started.
Well, it really belongs to the Anunnaki, though.
That too.
Y'all say some old shit like that. This shit right here is some, like, I don't think y'all know what's going on, but keep going. Let's keep going on. Like,
so on the 7th floor, that's like they call the bottom floor, the 7th floor, Nightmare Hall, because they say that's where they do the most weirdest shit. That's where they experiment on telekinesis, astral projection. They say down there they learn how to take a soul out of a person and put it into something else. Mm-hmm. And that's the type of technology that the reptilians have, because they have like this third eye ability where they're like super psychic. It's like humans that say that because they don't like to really be around humans at all. They only like to be with the most powerful people in a certain type of form. You know what I mean? Because like any regular person that says they've ever been around, it's like they say they get this feeling inside of them, like something is reading their thoughts, and it's like terrifying. It's like they put these fucked up thoughts in your head, and it's like you get a headache and all kind of shit. And it's like they got these big ass red glowing eyes, ugly scaly looking motherfucker. So
I think Clyde's a reptilian, man. But
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
So it's Dulce, New Mexico base, man, and you gotta do your own research. See, this is all alleged. All this is alleged. You know what I mean? It will make for a great. And this is my thing. Hollywood likes to put out a lot of shit, but I've never seen any movie like that. The only movie that really exists like that is a movie called Eyes Wide Shut. No, that's the one with the masks. No, it's called They See Us.
Yeah, they live.
They live.
Yeah, they live.
Dude it's an old school movie. It's like back in the 70s.
Yeah, dude look funny as hell. Like,
yeah.
But it's a good watch, whatever, and you'll see what's going on.
In the movie, the dude puts on glasses. He puts on these glasses he finds, and he starts seeing people for who they really are. He starts seeing weird shit like reptiles and shit like that. And there's one other movie. There's one other movie that depicts it. It's called Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. You know the nigga that played in Pirates of the Caribbean? All right, Jack Sparrow. He's in a movie called Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He's riding with his lawyer. He's riding with his lawyer to Las Vegas, and the whole time they're riding there, they're doing all kind of psychedelic drugs. When they get to the hotel, they do something called
adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome, but they call it something else in the movie.
Yeah,
I think they call
it adrenochrome, but at first they refer to it, I think, as something else.
Yeah,
you say adrenochrome. I got videos on adrenochrome on my channel too.
Yeah, so they take this drug, and then he goes down to the casino, and everybody looks like a small version of like Reptar from the Rugrats. They're all these reptilian looking things around him, and he hallucinates this shit for like what felt like watching the movie, it felt like an hour, but it was like a 10-minute scene where he's like bugging out, talking to himself, trying to get a drink, trying to act normal, but everyone looks like a motherfucking reptile. So those are the only two movies where I've really seen talk about it, and those are what you would call like cult classics. You know, they always want to put movies like that in weird categories, like, oh, it's a cult classic. They want to call it science fiction. You know what I mean? They'll give it a stupid category so people never really look at it like nothing that could ever be in any kind of realm of possibility. You know what I'm saying? But then they put Star Wars out there. They call it science fiction because it's more playful. You know what I mean? Star Wars is not as serious. You know, Jar Jar Binks, ha ha ha. You know, Jabba the Hutt.
They do it, you know.
Yeah, then you got Darth Vader. Everybody hates him, but he's kind of a likable, you know, bad guy. You know, you got Anakin Skywalker. You got a whole lot of moving parts. But these movies, they focus on this one thing. You know what I mean? And they're all due to people opening their third eye, and then they see it because we all have chakras, and we all have you know what I mean, ways we can open ourselves up spiritually. And like Queen was saying, the food, the toxins in the air and the water, it kills. It messes up our radio frequency to attach to the I like to call it the it's like a main source of power. I think that's where God concept comes from. It's like a main source of positive energy. You know?
Like, have you ever been chilling and then all of a sudden you just feel like rushed or really aggressive or really like stressed out all of a sudden, and then it just kind of goes away a little bit?
Yeah,
like,
when I
shut up, I'm being serious.
Like that happens a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even be noticing that. Like, I think it's just some normal shit. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it seems like you might be interested. My thing is, don't go into this just crazy. Like, do research. Like, look for credible sources. You know, people that know what the fuck they talking about. They got maybe 1 or 2 PhDs under their belt. I wouldn't just hop into the nearest person that talk about what they think they know what they talking about. You call that shit pseudoscience. That's what it's like, a spaghetti of just, oh, it's this and then it's that and then it's that with that and that connect. A lot of things connect, but everything don't gotta connect to everything. Some things are themselves standalone. You know what I mean? But then once you start putting everything to this big spaghetti, it's just like, you look like you're crazy. Like, first you're talking to me about, you know,
what about the music? What about the niggas in the music though? The music industry.
Well,
a lot of them are cloned. A lot of them are cloned, or under MK Ultra. Yeah, I can hear you. A lot of the music industry is cloned, or we've also talked about on my channel the Black Eye Club or the Red Shoe Club, and basically the Black Eye Club is basically most celebrities have at one point or another had a black eye due to them taking an ice pick, and I have what is being alleged here as proof on one of my channels and shit, but they take an ice pick and a hammer and like chip away at the frontal lobe to get somebody to respond in the type of manner that they want them to. So they're sticking a needle basically, up in the eye and chipping away at the frontal lobe to get you to behave the way that they want you to. Because of course they know about brains and shit like that. So there's that. And then I think a lot of times, like Kanye West, how come a lot of these celebrities just dye their hair blonde after they've just acted ass or had some big situation take place or whatever, where they're in the media, they're either in jail or something crazy,
Somebody told me that that they'll dye their hair after an episode because that's them cracking, and then they have to go back to their handler to get readjusted.
Yes, yeah.
So what they do is they don't control anything in their lives. They don't control where they go, what they eat. Sometimes they can't really be a free person, but hey, I can control this. I can change the color of my hair. You know what I mean?
Like, did you ever see that Kanye West video where he had all them clones laying in a big ass bed next to each other? I forgot the name of the video, but he had Donald Trump in there, Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, like all type of motherfuckers that it was like governors and shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Those were all clones. You see what I'm saying? And he was trying to show, like, Kanye West would like flip out and like show some shit. I think when he was in the accident or whatever, they also sacrificed, people. Kanye West sacrificed his mother definitely. And the car accident had happened because I think that his programming had started to slip or whatever. I don't know. But because he was already in on some type of level anyway already when that car accident had happened. You know what I'm saying? And so they do that shit to control motherfuckers and shit like that. Like, how many celebrities have been near life or death? You know what I'm saying? And then, they leave, come back, next thing you know, their hair's blonde again. Like, it's just weird.
I feel like with this whole rap thing, okay, so you got people like Joe Budden. He has his podcast, and he was just on his podcast talking about how he's leaving Spotify because they're not giving him what he's worth. He said, I come from the music industry. I know how y'all try to rate the culture and take everything from it, take our best artists and poach our listeners, you know what I mean, and then put them on some whack shit, you know what I mean, pretty much. So the rap game is weird. It's like, okay, you'll see a nigga in the hood, you know what I mean? Mind you, probably in the state that he lives in, there are probably like suburbs in that state. But because he's from the hood, he's like, oh, this is still too close to all the dirt I done did. So what do? They fucking go to LA. They go to Hollywood. It's still hoods in Hollywood. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. He passed away in California. And those was gangsters that did that shit. They probably, if you ask me, somebody with some long bread paid them to do it. They made sure their family was straight, even if they got caught. And if you're looking at what's going on, the dudes who got arrested for Pop Smoke shit, they got a high priced lawyer. So they're young, right? When you getting long bread like that, if your family had money, what you doing running in a nigga house and killing him? Mm-hmm. None of that shit add up. So my thing is, it's like they run to Hollywood, but when they go to Hollywood, they switch up. Now some people could be like, oh, you sound like you hate niggas changing their lives for the better. Okay, give it a few years. Wait for their music to stop getting played on the radio. Wait for their money to start lowering. You see what I'm saying? Wait for them streams to stop. Wait for that clout to die down, and then they start acting funny. You know what I mean? You see them in a weird position, or you hear some weird stuff happen, or you hear they pass out in the bathroom, overdose on some kind of drugs, now they pumping their stomach in the nearest fucking General Hospital, Mount Sinai, whatever they got in Hollywood. You know what I mean? Because every time their money get low, they go to get some more money. They ask their label, man, I need to drop an album, blah, blah. They're like, wait a minute. you gotta do something for us. Like, you see the house you live at, you see that pool, you see these chicks. You know what I mean? Like, come on, you gotta do something for us. And then that's when things start to get weird. And then they're like, hold on, do something for you. What you mean do something for you? What you want me to, you know, you want me to do a movie? You want me to be in a whack TV show for a couple bills? Like, what you want me to do? Like, no, man, I need you to step into this room. You know what I mean? Handle your business.
Shit.
And they're like, oh, I ain't with that. You listen to my music, you see my lifestyle. What you talking about? You gotta be dope.
Yeah, that part too.
Like, no, we dead serious, man. We need to go ahead and step in there and handle your business, man. You see what I'm saying? All niggas in there. You like,
they're taking niggas' booties, I'm telling you.
and then you got a decision to make. I'm gonna go back to the hood, bro, where all my enemies is at, and I stunned on these niggas for the past 5 years.
And they got the ability to, when you put out an album, oh, you didn't go in there and fuck with them niggas right there? Watch this. The album that you put out is gonna flop. Now everybody in the neighborhood gonna be looking at you like, how you fuck this up? And niggas' pride, you know, even white people or whatever. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just refer to everybody as a nigga. But you know, people's pride or whatever is just not for that. You know, like R. Kelly or whatever. He been, you know, famous for all these years. Dude has like an 8th grade education level. How? He should have been on tour with a tutor.
Yep.
Yeah, living right up in that motherfucker. Come on, bitch, let's go. You know what I mean? We finna learn some shit and I'm gonna sing, bitch. Come on. Here's some money. Shut up. Sit down, get the books. You know what I mean? Like, but it's sad to know that on top of what he did or didn't do allegedly, that this is, you know what I mean? That's the case or whatever. Like, motherfuckers just thrown all the way off.
And it's crazy how these celebrities, they know damn well how people feel about the industry, and when they say weird stuff happens. You don't really see no celebrities coming out on their platforms and saying, man, y'all conspiracy theorists, nigga ain't never did nothing to me, nigga ain't da-da-da-da. You know why they're not saying it? Because they know people gonna start digging. Like, oh yeah? My cousin, the one with the long fingernails, that's my cousin. That receptionist? The one that book everybody's appointments? Yeah, nigga.
Some of them speak out. I can't think of the dude off the top of my head, but he spoke out. He talks about Nibiru.
Isaac,
no, yeah, him, but there's a, I want to say he's a rapper. I just can't remember for the life of me right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. I just cannot think of it. Yeah, B.O.B. Yup. B.O.B. spoke out about it. He also talked about him and his family having connections to Masons and shit like that. And maybe that's why he's not touched or whatever on that mission. Like, as far as him speaking out, that's why they ain't whacked his ass yet. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what he said.
Exactly. His first song was a Christian single. I'll never forget the song because it stuck in my head. I thought it was so fly. He was in a white suit playing a white piano. I'll be in the sky. I'll be there. That's a Christian song, bro. I'll be in the sky. Like, and then next thing you know, he started rapping like the other rappers. It's not like it wasn't working, bro. I used to be involved in my church. I used to go to church by the Glades. And if anybody know anything about church by the Glades, it's a big ass mega church. Pastor David, you know what I'm saying? Mega church, cool ass church. I got baptized there. Christians really was rocking with him when he first came out because he was like, oh, this song is dope. It's positive. It sounds good. Blah blah. The next thing you know, out of nowhere he started rapping. And then I think he caught himself at some point and he started talking about flat earth.
And then look at Lil Uzi Vert. When he first came out or whatever, he was ether and shit. And now he all weird and shit. He if you didn't know, there's a club called the 27 Club, right? And everybody that is in this club has prophesied their death beforehand or whatever, right? And basically, you know, giving their life for quote unquote Satan or whatever. Well, Lil Uzi Vert said about like 3-4 years ago that he that Marilyn Manson is his daddy and he will give his life at 27 for Marilyn Manson, who is the Satan on earth or whatever. You know, Marilyn Manson, the dude, that nigga sucked his own dick on stage.
Yeah, he took his ribs out.
But yeah, he removed his ribs. So you like, damn, bro, you tripping.
That nigga's different. Lil Uzi and there's a lot of them niggas. Yeah. All them niggas. Those dudes is
that nigga put on a wedding dress. I was on the floor. I didn't know whether the prior laugh in reality.
They gotta push the female agenda on men. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas wearing man purses, skirts, dyeing their nails. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.